You're listening to the Wicked Theory Podcast.
We're very happy to have you back, even for a short visit.
And here we go.
Broadcasting to you live from parts unknown. Seriously, we have no idea where we are. This is the Wicked Theory Podcast. Or wherever you're at. Yeah! Ow! Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're back. It's another week. It's another show. We are. And I think all of our phones are playing. That's you. I'm over here. Yeah, all of our Mixler apps are going. Oh, boy. Welcome to the Vortex, people. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh.
All
Amateur
right.
hour. I got to turn mine off.
I thought I had mine off.
I don't know what I'm doing.
I honestly thought I had mine off.
Oh gosh, now I can hear me doing. Oh my God, I'm just gonna play the Mixler up to the microphone.
There we go.
This is high technology, folks. It's all amazing. Oh, there I go. Hi.
Hey, how you doing?
Never without something. Never.
In your defense, Bill, it's your first time having a smartphone.
Yeah, right. Fair enough. Fair enough. It's true. It's true. But then I could say, hey, what about you? You know, but it's just a natural mistake. It happens.
It does.
It happens to some more than others.
True.
And sometimes those people decide to get a lot of technology and surround themselves with it. I can barely keep it going. How many devices? I got a mixer board, I got a sound board, I got the laptop, and now this thing. Yeah.
Don't forget the tablet.
Well, that's why I meant this as the soundboard, right? The tablet. Yeah, this is.
Yeah.
I wonder how much low yield radiation I'm swimming in right now. I better get
there might be a little.
I better get some superpowers out of this.
You might want to wear a
You're going to be
one of those
hulking out
lead
any day
jackets.
now, I think.
Yeah. Great. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, the voices that you're hearing are my buddy Donald McIntyre. He's joining us, Professor_Politico on the Twitters.
That's it. What's up, boys?
And my brother Bob, as always, on guitar.
Hello.
Nice. Ooh, just a little bit. Just a little bit. Don't be fooled by these other little jingles you hear. Like, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. He knows one scale, at least. You just heard it. He might know more. Hang around and find out.
I know 4 or 5.
There you go. So, well, it's good to be back. Donald, thanks for hanging out and jumping in. Ed might actually
anytime.
show up. He's at one of these speech debate things that he does. He's coaching.
yeah.
He helps out with this thing.
Because he's so not a nerd.
Yeah, exactly. He did send me.
Everybody's got their thing.
He
right?
did send me a message. If I got to hear one kid talk about Russian economy, I might lose my absolute mind. And
Well, next time kid asks, you say, dude, just go there.
if you really want to be feeling
The
formed,
only way
kid,
the internet's not going to be enough. Just go there.
you're just gonna really.
Good luck getting back.
It's good. The school will probably send you there too.
If you want to come back, just tell them that you're Snowden.
They'll get rid of you in a minute. So this is episode 77. We're gonna get to some. Meanwhile, we're gonna do some news. Donald's here hanging out, so he doesn't really realize it. But at some point, we're gonna play some SUPERFIGHT with him.
Oh, I get to play SUPERFIGHT.
You get to
All right.
play SUPERFIGHT. So maybe between now and then, decide, because we always throw it to the guest to choose their opponent. So I don't know if maybe by the time we get there, somehow you will be able to have chosen one of us because either we were nasty to you or nice to you, or I don't even know if that's the criteria, but
I'll figure something
you
out.
can figure something out. So we got that to look forward to. So let's just get down into it. Hey, people, we're going to do some emails later. So if you want to send one in the future, you can send it to podcast@wickedtheory.com. You can hear us every Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern right here on mixler.com/wicked-theory. Follow, subscribe, whatever it is. I blanked.
Right.
No, but yes, follow and
Follow, rate,
sign
review.
up. Sign up
Yeah,
and follow.
sign up
That's
and
it.
follow. Don't get lost on the way.
Too many services. Jesus Christ, I'm mixing them all up between follow here and follow there.
We're on Mixler.
No, fair enough. No, fair enough. But there is a follow thing to do there.
Oh, you said mixing it all up. I thought you said Mixler.
Gotcha. I'm Mixlering with everything.
right.
It's all one big
You're
Mixler.
Mixlering things up.
Oh boy, am I. Jesus. And also, hey, we're on Patreon. And just as a reminder, if anybody still needs motivation to help out, as our buddy Donald did. It's up to $69. If it gets to $75,
$6 more, people.
we will officially put into the process of putting together a roast episode for myself. I'll open the doors to the previous guests and maybe some people that I haven't had a chance to get on here yet that I wanted to basically, just tear me to shreds verbally, and you know how that goes. Should be a blast.
Yeah.
But
and no one's going to be bringing blanks.
No, I would hope not. I would hope not.
They should come fully loaded.
Yeah, I even if people feel like they can't, like that's not their thing,
Bear, Billy Bear,
but they really want to, they should do it anyway. Like, I would hate for somebody to be like, I can't speak in front of people, or I'm not funny, kind of thing. Well, then just find somebody who is, or steal some material. But
he's not going to be in front of people. He's going to be in front of us. We're not people.
Well, that's it too. We're subhuman at least. You know what I mean? So
we're in the friends and family category at best.
If you can't,
subhuman at least.
Right, and if you can't be a clown and be
whatever,
comfortable in front of us,
right? Whatever classification is going to make him feel better about standing in front of
pick
him.
one.
Just pick one. Whatever.
Pick one.
Wear like a badge.
We'll go. Yeah, sure,
no problem. So, all right, and then the last thing is that hey, if you missed Podtoberfest 2016, next month is 17's a Geek. They do 30 days of podcasting. So
yeah, I don't want to talk about it.
So don't want to talk. Why do you not want to talk about it? What's that?
Because Friday.
Yeah.
8 o'clock. I start listening. I'm good to go. Start going over to my father-in-law's house upstate. I lose service. I got no more Podtoberfest.
Oh, you were planning on clocking all these hours.
I was waiting for you to
drive?
say you fell asleep at the wheel, you crashed into a tree.
No.
Yeah.
I just lost.
And that's how you missed it. But
I lost service.
Service. That's really bad.
No cell service. No goddamn Wi-Fi.
No, nothing.
No,
where were you?
nothing.
So where were you actually?
We were up in Sydney Center. Is the name of the town.
That's upstate New York.
Upstate New York.
Okay, like how far from here? How long a drive up?
4.5 hours.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's a nice little chunk.
Yeah.
And
then finally
on the side of a mountain, or like what?
pretty much. Yeah, he's pretty much on the side of a mountain.
Is your side of the mountain? Did you learn how to falconeer? And
no falconeer.
Did you live inside of a tree stump? I'm just saying for anybody who saw that movie.
No, it's actually a very nice house.
Oh, okay.
It's a very nice house, but
no service. That was the big down point.
Until the cable guy came Saturday.
Oh, so that's actually you were up there to help facilitate that kind of thing.
Yeah, that got taken care of.
Nice. And then you were all right.
Kinda.
But you still weren't allowed to listen.
Right.
Is
Well,
that kind of it?
taking care of the kid.
I know.
I got
you couldn't get the time. You couldn't get the time. Poor baby. So now you have to wait. But hey, you're not alone. You're not alone. There are other people out there that are like, hey, I wanted to listen, but I got busy. I look forward to you finally getting to hear those episodes that you missed. That's a shame. That's things because behind the scenes you helped out. You know what I mean?
I tried a little bit. I tried.
You did the helpful thing that listener do. It was called support. We like that. We like that. Hey, what can I try.
You know,
and that's,
AKA slave labor.
Well, we probably should have got some work out of them, but maybe in some other fashion in the future. That might be
pushing.
All right, so where are we? I've lost track, but not really. All right, so usually at this point, it's basically at that point where we do meanwhiles. And that's just, we kind of catch up real quick on stuff we've been watching and checking out on TV. So I finally caught up on a couple episodes of Flash. Well, all of them, actually. It's 3 episodes.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, and, not to get too crazy spoilery or too long into it, but
once again, everything gets tied up in about 60 seconds.
They do this whole thing at the end of last season. 1 episode in, it's wrapped up. But then they, since it's time travel now and it's all this shit, it's like, all right, not everything has changed, but just enough that we have safe stuff to play with. Like big, super drastic changes are undone.
Right.
You know, now we have small, minimal changes.
And
like,
a new way to create new villains.
Yeah, right.
That won't necessarily have speed as their power.
Right. We'll be seeing more variations on the origins
Which
anyway.
is
It won't
gonna
feel
be
as
a good-
recycled.
yeah.
And that's good.
Yeah, that's definitely good because the whole feeling with everybody is getting a little worn for me.
Yeah, it's all because their origins are just kind of coming from, hey, you know.
You can only eat so much candy before you need to have some steak.
Yeah, you got to switch it up.
Yeah.
You got to switch it up. And that's what we were saying coming out of it, out of last season. That
good show, solid show all
Yeah.
around. It's just it's a little too sweet, candy sweet sometimes.
It needs a little more meat.
And if I gotta watch one more conversation out in that curved hallway,
Yeah, I mean,
I'm just tired of it. It's so CW, but I'm just find another fucking place to go to have the conversations. If it has to be, can I talk to you over here for a minute? Like every week, that has to happen. Somebody for whatever reason has to have a private conversation, and then usually go back into the room and tell everybody that what they were talking about outside anyway.
Right. Then
But
why go out?
Well, right, exactly. Why go out? But like, let's go out the other door. Like, let's go into the stairwell. Can we see what the stairwell looks like? I'm just sick of this. As soon as I see the hallway, I'm like, someone's gonna stop walking.
And it's not just a hallway; it's also where the Flash runs. Like that's like
it's the track.
That's
the
track.
You know what I mean?
You
So
know?
it's like right outside the main room, but it's just this one section. It must be like the
Right.
one main set they have that they're like, oh, I guess we'll just go shoot.
You know,
in there
anytime I'm in a
again.
hallway like that, it echoes. You know?
right. That's a good point. That's a good point. You know, it's probably not the place to have these like little asides.
Let's go out here and then have our conversation.
I really hate your dad.
No, batting.
No, up to the plate.
son.
So, but yeah, I mean, I'll give it to them. It's holding up. It doesn't. They're still playing within their own set of rules and stories and stuff because of the time travel thing. That like obviously now there's no entry point for any outsider unless for them to just be like, wow, what's going on? Let me start from the beginning to find out. Then fine, but there's no jump.
He just ran to Central City like 20 minutes ago. He's like,
Well, it was funny that like they have him go to hang out with Felicity from Arrow for like 5 minutes just so that we can have a recap because she does nothing for the storyline.
Right.
She just is like there as a friend to give him
to give him a little
sounding
bit of
board.
advice. Yes, okay. So what do you do?
Yeah, and just really
What do you do here?
and be the proxy for the audience. Like just fill us in a little bit.
Right.
Okay, for the last 3 months I've been doing X, Y, Z, and I just want to say called that. I called that last season that we were just going to come back in. It was going to be already kind of running, and we were going to play catch up. Because that's what they want to hit us with the cool first and play mystery with it, and it's that whole fucking angle that every show does.
Well, that's what they did at the end of the first season and the second season too.
Yeah, it's that whole thing.
6 months later.
Exactly. And shows just like to do that now. Like all shows like to do that kind of shit.
Well, hopefully it becomes so cookie cutter.
Yeah.
That it becomes tired.
Right, and they realize they have to break
Yeah,
their own
yeah.
mold on that too.
They're not going to listen to us.
No, well.
I mean,
You
you
know.
know, we don't know anything. We're just the viewers.
That's true.
So
What do we know?
you know, we don't have high IQs or anything.
No, well,
college degrees or.
If we add them all up. If we add them all up.
We might break 100.
Might break 100. Don, what about TV and you, man? What are you watching
Speak for
lately?
yourselves,
I've
guys.
Been, I'm so behind. I finally started watching Luke Cage.
Nice.
I'm episode 6 or 7.
Okay,
I don't remember
you're in
the
that
actual number,
ballpark.
but,
Yeah, we were talking about it before, so I think you're about issue episode 7.
And then I finally today I started watching Stranger Things.
Okay.
Finally, after all the people I'm hearing back and forth, you know, gotta watch the show. You gotta watch the show. I finally got around to watching it, and
What are you into? Episode 1 or 2?
I'm just. I believe I'm in episode. I've just finished episode 2.
Okay.
Is this that show with the aliens?
What's with the kids? It's not aliens. It's another.
Because there's another show coming out that it was a comedy with like aliens, like abducting people and.
Oh, I think I saw something for that
Yeah.
too. I think I saw something for
So
that.
I wasn't sure what it was.
This is a big Netflix hit. This 80. It's like an 80s throwback.
It's very.
It's very it's like 1980s on the
Very,
fucking nose. Like
It's you take
Miami
Goonies,
Vice.
E.T. and
Bob, really, the only thing it's missing is the blue paneling from my bedroom when I was growing up. Like, that's
Oh,
it.
you're welcome
the
for that,
red.
by the way.
I
That
know,
was- that
I
was-
know.
but it's
That was
But
my
Bob,
pick.
I don't blame you because it should just never have been
I was
available.
7 when we first
But-
moved into the house. Mom and Dad were like, "How do you want the room?" I was like, "Blue walls, red carpet." They got red shag carpet and blue paneling.
And that's
it was so horrible.
And when it became my room, it was cool. Like, you know, like it was like, because as a kid, you're like, yeah, it's wild.
Yeah,
I
well, it was
dig
cool because you could destroy the carpet because it was already destroyed.
And it was
you could-
automatically,
and you could
it was
rip off
always
the
lava.
paneling.
And it was always lava.
I was always right.
Yeah, it was always lava.
And,
Hot lava.
and if you played hot lava game as a kid, like, oh, can't touch the floor, it's lava. Well,
Yeah.
we had the best place for that.
That's
'Cause
true.
The rug was bright clown
Bright,
wig
yeah.
red. Like, it was literally the brightest.
Yeah, we moved into that house in
primary red.
1976.
Yeah.
Everything was solid base colors.
Oh, it was primary.
Yeah,
Everything. yeah.
Everything was primary.
Primaries
colors.
or brown.
Yeah.
Just
Don't forget that bright
primaries
orange.
or brown paneling
yeah. Oh, Jesus.
and
Good times.
and men with perms.
Oh, the photos. Oh, yes, the photos. But enough of that. So, some Luke Cage, some Stranger Things.
Some Stranger Things. I watched Ark yesterday.
Okay.
ARQ.
Which, by
For
if you
those who
haven't
don't know.
checked out, is a good. It comes from Netflix too. It's a little time travel loop kind of movie.
Okay.
Excellent
Yeah.
movie. Very,
Excellent.
I
Tight little story.
petted, yelled at the children running around the house. Shut up while I was watching it.
I have to pay attention to this movie. This isn't some bullshit. You
Everybody needs to
This
get out
isn't Sesame
now.
Street. This has a plot.
know. Right.
Go away. Yes, okay. The
Why
baby's
is-
awake. I know. Just go play with him. Go away.
Daddy,
I'm
why
trying
is
to
the man
watch
on
it.
screen doing that? Oh, but why are they doing that? Oh,
Be great if the kid came in. But
It's
wait,
like-
this time paradox doesn't make any sense because he came back through before. You know. The kid,
I'm beginning to understand why people kill their children.
But it was I was like, just go. You have to go. You have to just
Yeah,
go, please.
yeah.
Go upstairs. Go
it's
play
just one of
around.
those movies. I'm
You
trying
know.
to. I gotta listen. You gotta
Right.
listen. And it's like that where it's a loop thing and they're all in one house basically throughout this whole little action thing that's going on, and so it gets tight. Like if you looked away for like a minute or two, it's like
Right, you-
I
you'd
can't.
get lost.
I have to rewind.
And I had to do that a couple.
I was gonna say you probably had a lot of rewinding on that.
I'm gonna.
15
So,
seconds, 15
seconds.
seconds, 15 seconds. So, all right.
Yeah,
But
so-
Ark is really good. Ark's
Ark's
a tight,
really
a
good.
nice tight movie. And then that's
And,
kind of like the big hits right now. That's the
For
stuff.
me, yeah, that's pretty
Yeah,
much
I-
it. That's
I
what
noticed-
that's what I'm getting to right
I
now.
noticed one thing was missing from there.
What's that?
The Wicked Theory podcast.
I listen to that every week. That's,
Oh, okay.
That's
Okay.
if I'm not if I'm
That's
not in the
that's such a
Mixler,
normal thing that it's not
it's
even in
all
this.
the time, all the
it's-
time.
It's
if,
separate.
if I'm not in the Mixler, I'm usually catching it that
Right.
Monday.
I see you
So,
around all the time.
It's one of those things you do automatically, like wiping
Yeah.
your ass.
As soon as I get the notification, I'm in there, and the wife gives me a look.
She's like, oh, I guess you're
Is that-
just going to tune out now for the next
Again,
25,
great,
40
here we
minutes.
go.
Great. See you later. Bye.
So, pretty much.
That's what I was telling
But honey, look forward to the silence.
That's what I was telling. I was
It's gonna
telling
be
Palmer.
quiet.
I was like, the only reason you can listen to all these podcasts is because you don't have a chick right now. Because you're in a thing. Like if I was like if I was in a relationship right now, I don't know how I would devote time to what will eventually be again 3 podcasts a week.
Right.
Once CBJ comes back and
PvP.
PvP is running. I'm gonna be losing my mind again.
Yeah.
Like if they were all kind of like done
Well, you know what-
here
you know what would
and
help?
like very similar. Oh yeah, cake.
You know, it would help
No,
if people on those other podcasts would actually do some of the work.
Well, that's the thing, and actually, that's what's going to probably be a little different about CBJ when we come back because it's going to be about like who really wants to hang out and and do it. Like you know what I mean?
Right.
There's no reason for everybody to be there if they're not feeling it. But anyway, I got a new loot crate
Uh-oh.
and I just cut it open.
Are we doing an
So,
unboxing?
we're gonna do a little unboxing. Oh, what do we got?
Oh.
Oh, hey.
The Walking Dead?
It's a Walking Dead one. I'm glad I don't pay attention to things anymore. Oh, it's all horror stuff. Look at that. Look at that. Very
Is that a
cool.
little plushie
Show that.
of Leatherface?
That is a plushy Leatherface.
That's actually, you know what? Enough of this is actually pretty cool.
cool.
This
It's
whole,
actually pretty
this whole
cool.
kit's looking pretty sweet. Wow. All right. What do we got here? We got
Nice.
got a Negan Sluggers T-shirt.
That's pretty cool.
That's
Wow.
nice.
That's pretty cool.
That's actually pretty cool with the baseball bat with the barbed wire on
I
it.
swear to God, like every month, I think this is the last box. This is going to be the last box, and they just keep on getting
and every
better.
month you keep forgetting to cancel the card.
So a nice Camp Crystal Lake triangle
Nice.
like banner, like a sports
cool.
banner, like everybody
Cool.
Like
Like a pennant banner.
pennant banner. Right, I couldn't think of the word. Thank
Baseball
you. Thank
pennant banner.
you. Nice stuff. This is an actual book. Oh, this is good. The Legion of Regrettable Supervillains, featuring the 50 strangest supervillains in the history of comics.
Oh, that's awesome.
The Loot Crate edition by John Morris.
That actually does look
wow.
pretty
This
cool.
looks like a pretty interesting thing. Don, flip through
Dude,
that.
I think that's worth the crate right there.
That's it. That is definitely.
That's actually something really, really useful to a comic book nerd like you.
And then, Bob, why don't you can describe that for the audience?
Let's see. What is this? This okay. Freddy Glove chopsticks. Oh my God! It's a pair of chopsticks. They look like they might even be extendable.
Metal chopsticks.
Connected to a tiny little hand. It's kind of like those foam finger hands in baseball, but it's only about 2 inches long.
Okay.
And the
So it's a little resting base. Is
the
Freddy's
chopsticks are
gloved
coming
hand.
out of the two fingers that are holding up like the V for victory.
Right. So it's supposed to be like two of his claws, basically.
And two of his claws are down. You know, because he's holding the V for victory.
Wow, Loot Crate really kicking ass here.
Yeah.
Jeez Christ.
That reminds me, I got to break out. I have a remote control car that's a hand.
Okay.
That crawls up walls and stuff.
Oh shit, that's creepy as fuck. I like the sound of that.
Yeah, I got to dig it out.
And the
see if
bottom of the
batteries
box
still work.
is, I could cut this out. It'll probably be not very fooling anybody, but it's a really cool picture. It's a zombie
dude,
mask. Yeah, I'll be
big.
hanging it up on the wall just as is, probably. But it comes with a little elastic band. They always try and do something with the boxes, really. And so this is obviously a big promotion for the Walking Dead returning this this weekend. But wow, that's really cool setup.
Wow.
I can't wait to
Can I
give
see
some of
the
that shit away.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre thing there? What is
Yeah,
that?
this like a
little
little
plushie.
Oh, it's the plushie.
cartoony Leatherface
Right.
plushie.
Yeah, it almost looks like he has a beak, like he
And they sent a really
looks like you'd see him in
cool,
SpongeBob.
John Carpenter's Halloween pin. Every month they send a pin, but usually they say have like the logo or it's some kind of specially made image for that month's box by them.
Right.
They've gotten better and less branded by Loot Crate. I'm surprised that one's not branded at all, but that's really cool. Wow, really cool setup. You know, and this is the base level, this box. This isn't even like, because now there's multiple tiers with Loot Crate.
Okay.
This is not an ad. We're not getting paid for Loot Crate. We don't. I am paying for Loot Crate, like, you know. So
Let's just make that
let's
clear.
just make that clear. You know what I mean? But it literally is a thing. Like, it keeps getting better, and then like, you know, next month will be something that's a little not quite as hit with me, maybe, or not every item in it is a hit.
Right.
You know, even like small things like something like this Camp Crystal Lake banner, like, you know, they'll put in rinky-dink things like this,
Right.
but they're usually not as interesting as like this. Actually, is something now I can hang up here in the studio, or it's usable and it's valuable to a degree. Like, but
that book, I flipping through it.
Yeah.
You know, you have.
I might have some
Generic
show
man.
material. I might have some show material.
Well, you
in
know, you
here.
go towards the back of the book. There's generic man.
Find a gem that's
Blue
in there
Beetle.
as you flip
Is
through.
CashNetUSA.com man in there?
He might be
Jesus
the
Christ.
seaweed queen.
I think he might have missed that printing.
What else you got in there, buddy? You got
Killer, the Jingler.
the Jingler.
The Jingler. Let's go
He's
back to
gonna
the
sing.
Jingler.
He's gonna sing crappy
Let's
commercials.
see what the Jingler
He's
does.
gonna sing Wayne 100.
He's
Kids,
got his
cars
jingle
for
bells.
kids. That's what he does. He sings TV jingles.
I was going to say he throws jingle bells at kids.
Yeah, that's true. He could do that.
The
Too. He probably does
Jingler.
both.
Right, jingle
AKA
bells.
the Jingler of Death.
The Jingler of Death.
He's an evil poet.
Chokes you out and then he stuffs jingle bells down your throat.
He's called the Jingler, but he's an evil poet.
He's an evil poet.
Oh.
He didn't begin his career as an evil poet.
Okay.
Just a pretty bad one.
Oh,
Edward
So
Fearing.
he was an
Edward
evil poet and didn't know it?
Right.
exactly.
But
Gems, people. Gems. Nothing but gems.
Hey, I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
You're going to be here all week?
Edward
Up till
Fearing
next Tuesday.
was a poverty-stricken poet.
Okay.
Redundancy alert.
Yeah, okay.
Unsuccessfully peddles his rhymes around town,
Right.
only to have the door repeatedly slammed in his face. If that's poetry, I'll eat it, proclaims one cruel book publisher. The destitute poet is caught stealing by a shopkeeper and accidentally kills the man. Dashing off in a panic, he neglects to notice that his victim clutches one of Fearing's poems in his lifeless grip. but the newspapers do notice. The next morning, the front pages bear Fearing's doggerel and a story about the crime. Once I wrote a little rhyme of people in an older time. Not exactly Robert Frost, but it sells papers. So they said my verses would never be published. Fearing crows in the candlelit apartment. I had to murder to get my verses read, but it's worth it. If it's murder they want, they'll have it. Following a train, it's probably crossed. Following a train of thought, it's probably crossed the mind of every unpublished writer at some point. Dubbed the jingler by the papers, Fearing attacks assorted publishing moguls as revenge for their constant snubbing. And one particularly gruesome killing, he stuffs a poetry-laden piece of paper down the throat of a publisher who earlier offered to eat Fearing's words. That'll show him.
Okay, there you go. That's what we were waiting for. Like, what has he actually done that was so bad?
But, there are some gems in there.
All right, well, you know, if he only kills...
What did I do that was so absurd? And now you're going to choke on your words.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen.
And that's if he had ever been on a 1940s TV show. That's exactly
That's
how he would
exactly
sound
There you
like.
go. That's the kind of thing I would say.
That's really it. That's funny. All right,
So we going to talk about Black Mirror?
yeah, let's talk about Black Mirror real quick. I just mumbled the hell out of that.
Black
Black Mirror.
Say that 5 times fast.
There
you go.
So that came back this week. Black Mirror and
Mirror.
Mirror. How's your New York accent doing there, jerker? Yeah, so let me get non-regional about this. So
Yes, let's
all please talk non-regional about this particular story.
Yes, so about this show, Black Mirror.
I find it fascinating.
Yes, it was a very interesting episode last night. I watched one.
Social commentary of
Yes,
the times.
Very, very.
Technology laden.
Yes. Anyone who's a fan of Instagram or Facebook
Can relate.
can really relate.
If you've ever been obsessed about your account, you can relate. So yeah, I mean, I guess we should probably set up a little bit. But so the first episode, so now for anybody who hasn't seen Black Mirror was originally a BBC show, very limited series. They did 3 runs, 3 episodes each. So it's not a lot of episodes to begin with.
Well, there was originally 2 runs.
2 runs of 3 each?
Because
because there's only 6 total. Plus
these new ones.
Right, and there's a Christmas
Christmas episode.
A Christmas episode.
Okay.
So there was 7 then, I believe. And now
7 total.
Now a batch of 6.
And now a patch of 6. They're calling this season 3.
Right. So this is okay.
Okay.
So that's where we are now.
Right.
But it's so it's very Twilight Zone-y, but everything is usually about that imaginary 15 minutes into the future kind of a thing,
Okay.
where
Right.
it's very much
It's-
right about now, but it's all it's usually about how mankind's interacting with technology.
Yeah, this is like
Right.
20 years from now.
Yeah, this is
You know,
right around.
electric cars are all over the place. Let's just put that out there. And
Yeah.
that's
And the
Okay.
central app that's part of the main story
Yeah.
for that first episode is Supercurrent. That could be right now, where
Okay.
it's basically it's a ratings app where you just basically just toss each other ratings, like
just
5 stars
for every
5-star
every
scale.
little interaction. Every little you go see the guy at the who's got the barista who's got your coffee.
Right.
They're like,
And he
"Hi,
gets-
how you doing?"
So
and then
it's
as you
Yelp on
leave,
steroids.
boop, it's like
Yeah, here's a
it's
few
kinda,
stars for you.
Right.
All
For
right.
all your friends, all your family, every time you interact, even for a second, you do a rating.
And now your rating,
Right.
your own personal rating, is posted on your account right next to your picture. So hey,
And all your
some
friends know your
people-
rating.
Some people are 3s, some people are 4s, some
Right.
people are 4.8s.
Right.
You know, so what's
Yeah.
happened is over time, like there's a very
It's
high
become
level
a social thing.
where it's a very high level of artificial, like social behavior going on now.
Yeah,
'Cause
everyone
everybody's
is fake.
super polite.
Imagine if
Trying, especially if this is the thing that they're obsessed with. Obviously, some people you get to see some a little
Right.
later on,
and it's
who
tied.
aren't,
It's
but-
now. It's tied directly to their social status.
and it's
So-
gotten so big where it's kind of like where credit ratings are almost bound to go, where they're tied to these things. How they're all like you kind of
Right. So
your
it's
level,
it's
so
this
it's-
whole click thing on steroids,
yeah. So it's
and it's become a
services,
punishment
right?
as
so,
well.
because now services are. Every service wants to know what your rating is, and so certain perks.
Every
or
person, everywhere wants to know
How's
what
you
your
know you
rating
want
is.
to like
Don't
be able to go to
dare.
this restaurant, or
Yep.
you want to get the good seats on the plane. Like,
And
well,
your
that package is only available for 4.2s. You're only a 4.1.
Right.
What? Really?
Yeah.
And it's
You
like,
can't you
I
can't get
got
this
3 hits.
apartment unless you're a 4.5. You can get it, but you're gonna pay a higher rate. So if you're a 4.5, you can afford to live here.
You know, because the
Yeah.
board loves that.
Yeah.
Board wants to have people in that kind of a ratio, in that
Right,
kind of a window, you know?
Right.
So it's all this kind of stuff going on.
And you're all about your friends and their friends and their friends. And
It's
you,
all these
and you
circles,
see, you know how you got
the
your
Google
friends and
circles.
how you see
Right,
your
so like
friends
circles
and their
upon
friends on
circles.
Facebook.
Right.
It's like that, but now picture like a 3D TV, circular spiral image, you know, and then there's you and your friends, and then you zoom in closer, and then there's them and all their friends, and how they relate to you, and their all these points.
So this is like
it's like
the app's basically every social. It's
Yes,
Twitter,
yes,
Facebook,
yes, it's
Google
all-
Plus.
If you reduce them all
and
to
friggin'
one,
Yelp, all smashed into
yes,
one.
Yeah.
yes,
Okay.
and
I mean,
everybody
it's-
is living via it.
you ain't
like
gonna be a
it's-
wealthy person unless you're like a 4.7.
Yeah, because how are you
Hanging
gonna
out
get
with-
how you know it's
Yeah.
it's
How are you
it's
getting a good
regarded
job
right.
without-
It's almost regarded
Yeah.
like a credit rating thing.
Some
it's like a
some
person-
jobs
it's like a
you
human
can't work
credit
there if
rating.
you're below like a 2.4. You can't work at this job. You know.
Why would-
So it's a
you
whole
know,
like it's become a whole caste system,
Yeah.
and it's become a punishment as well. Because at one point, one person in there is getting so upset that they can't get where they're going because their rating just because of one little mistake dropped right below the point where they can get on that friggin' plane.
Right.
So now, I lost my.
Well, here's what you need to know.
Yeah.
That the main character is a young woman, and she's great in this thing. And I bought It's ridiculous as the thing is. I bought everything with her, but as an actress. But she has just you watch her be. She's obsessive with it, like most
Yeah.
people, and she basically
Yeah.
starts to
You
lose her grip on her status.
Yeah,
and you
you
watch her
can feel.
spiral.
Yeah, and you can feel how fragile that status is.
Oh my God, it feels so
It's so
tertiary. Is that the word?
No, but I'm thinking of the T word too.
So I don't know.
Tenacious.
Tenuous.
Tenuous.
There you go.
Tenuous.
It's such a tenuous thing
Yeah.
that she went from in one day being a 4.2 on her way to becoming like a 4.5, 4.6 with going to one event.
Once
to
you
now-
see this one
to
guy,
being like a 1.0
yeah,
by sunup the next day.
basically,
You know,
Okay.
and no one on earth, not even like the garbage man, would have anything to do with her.
So
Wow.
You know, yeah.
so
All
that's
right.
so that's kind of
But the way it ends is the best.
yeah. Let's not give it too much away. I
Yeah.
feel like we give away a lot of the journey there. I
Yeah,
think-
we kind of did because it's
But it's worth it. Even
yeah.
to see the minutia of how it all runs.
Right.
It's still we didn't give anything away really in an
Alright.
episode like that. It's still really good. And I watched episode 2 after you went
Okay.
to bed, and
Yeah, that's when I caught up with Flash.
that's another one, a little more of a horror bent. Very, very good though. Where it was one of these things where I didn't think it was going to get me to jump.
And you jumped.
I jumped anyway. Like, I'm like, they're not going to make. I'm like, you fucking sons of bitches. Fucking spiders. But, yeah, so they got me on that. But that was another one with a really good story. It's just really good. There's nothing on right now that's doing a Twilight Zone-y thing, like,
Right.
and anthology style in any way. Like,
Yeah.
shows want to be weird in
Right.
general, but they have to have a storyline. And like, I
Right.
maybe just want to get in for one episode and not be super compelled to have to watch
Right.
the other
Well,
one right now.
The one thing that's good about a show like this is that you can use it as a jumping point for new talent.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
lots of
Well-
directors get their start on stuff like this.
Well, here's the thing that happens with stuff when it gets hot. Now they're working on the next batch of episodes already, and now the talent is starting to knock on the door. Like,
Zack Snyder wants to do an episode.
Jodie Foster is going to direct an episode. I saw that in the news.
jeez,
And so
okay.
a couple other people, but they had what's his name from Mad Men in the first season. They had John Hamm
Okay.
in an episode in the Christmas special episode, and his episode's like really good. It's a really pivotal one to the kind of like because not that there's really an overarching anything.
Right.
But you do see kind of some recurring little things. Maybe it's a product,
Right.
or maybe it's like kind of like a technology. It's not exactly the same,
Right.
but like one of
They-
the technologies that we don't have currently, but there seems to be recurring, is like having contact lenses, which will be able to feed you a display.
right. Okay.
So throughout the course of this series, not like intentionally, but like it's just
like Google Glasses, but Google Contacts.
You know what I mean?
It's
So
one of
it's
those
a-
things that
so
helps.
you'll see different like uses of it, that
Right.
kind of a thing.
Yeah, like you could,
Right.
when you someone's not your friend, you can block them, and then all you see is a silhouette, and you can't hear anything they say.
It's just this big,
Oh,
and that's just it. And that's
Yeah,
just
that's
it.
just it. You're done.
You are done.
You're done. You ever see them again, and then you 5-6 years later, that you're still blocked. And you see the person, you know you're still blocked because you can't see them.
And then so like you don't know.
You know, and
It's
it
like,
just
who
hurts
is
all
it?
over again.
You know, like who, like if you only block like 1 or 2 people, it's easy to guess. But if you're like some jerk who's blocked 1 million people, it's like,
Right.
well, I don't know who the fuck that could be. Like maybe it's my dad. I don't know. I blocked that jerk 8 years ago. But so yeah, Black Mirror. Definitely check out Black Mirror.
That's something else to add to the queue.
Yeah, something else to add to the queue.
Yeah, definitely.
not a
You
lot of
definitely
episodes.
have to watch the very first episode.
Yeah, don't give anything
Oh,
away.
I'm gonna go. I'm definitely.
Yeah, definitely get
I'm
the
sold.
very
You already
first
sold
season
me.
1, episode 1.
Yeah.
You have to see that. That
Right.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great introduction for a series and it basically stands alone. Leave it at that.
Yeah.
Let's leave it at that. It's amazing
Yeah.
on its own.
You will not stop watching.
So,
Yeah,
so Bob found this piece of news, this
Yeah.
story, which was really cool. Donald, you might want to pull up the link in your
Oh yeah.
notes. So you
yeah,
can
so
see
you
it.
can take a
it's
look.
up. It's up.
It's up. So
Basically, it's
yeah.
So this guy, Josh Rossi, he's got a 3-year-old daughter,
Right.
and she wanted to be Wonder Woman,
Sure.
right? So, you know, he's a graphic artist and a photographer.
Mm-hmm.
So he spent $1,500 and had a replica of the Wonder Woman costume from the new movie that's coming out,
Right.
made based off the stills from the movie.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Leather, everything. It's
It
like
does look
it's,
really
it's like
good.
It's just
perfect,
this tiny little
Right, yeah.
cute.
right?
mini
And she's
version.
adorable as hell.
She is.
She's a natural brunette. She's like perfect for this little thing.
Yeah.
And so basically, if you go to the link, there's a video, a YouTube video, where they show you what they did in an hour and a half because they only had an hour and a half until her nap time
Right.
to do the photo shoot.
Hey Don, are you
Right?
in the?
That sounds perfect.
Right?
You're in the chat, Don.
I am in the chat.
Right. Oh, but you're in the
So-
chat on your phone.
I'm in the chat on my phone.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Never mind.
So yeah, so him and his friends and his wife, they're holding her up in all these, they're taking all these pictures, and he photoshops her into these stills,
They're amazing.
and it looks like this kid is in the movie.
So it's the link's at batman-news.com. Look for an article, Dad, 3-year-old Wonder Woman costume Photoshop.
Right. I think I was on the page yesterday, and
Yeah.
it was in the latest news corner in the the right hand corner.
Yeah, I don't think it would rotate out,
Yeah.
probably.
So,
But yeah, just there's like 5 or 6 pictures.
Yeah, it's a cool thing. There's a 3-minute video. It shows you everything. And
He's got 5 or 6 people
This
doing
is for
stuff.
me. I saw this and instantly I thought, you know what, this is like Dad of the Year.
Absolutely.
You know,
It was so
and,
cute.
And now
It was
he's got
so
a model
adorable.
for life.
That's
you know?
it. That's it.
you know,
I
she's
just,
hooked.
I hope this kid hasn't peaked. That's what I'm just saying. Like,
She's
you know,
hooked. You know.
But it's super adorable pictures.
Yeah, they really are awesome.
They are,
you
the
know?
kid, well, the kid, she looks good. Like when she's making the scream.
Oh,
like,
the
like,
scream face.
I'm gonna kill
Dude, these
everybody
pictures
face.
They're amazing, and
it's amazing.
they're super high res pictures.
Yeah.
And you can't
They
tell
look
that
very.
there's
They're
no
all Zack Snydered up, the high
Yeah.
high contrast and stuff like that.
right. You cannot tell where the original is and the overlay,
Right.
the new layers are.
Yeah.
You know,
Right, it looks like-
these are excellent photos. I'm just picturing the kid like going trick or treating in his outfit, and maybe a bag that's got her pictures on the sides.
Kid's not gonna fit it. Kid,
You know,
kid's getting 1 year trick or treating out of it. I'm telling
Yeah.
you right now.
I mean, I don't know that they
Yeah,
live in the
that's
United
it.
States. I think because he's talking to his daughter, I think in Spanish.
Okay.
So I think they're over in Europe or Sweden or something.
Fair
So,
enough.
you know,
Yeah.
they're somewhere in Europe.
Hey, it might be Italian.
Could be.
Rossi. I mean, I'm just
Yeah.
thinking
Could be.
that could be possibly.
Could be.
Hey, I'm no international lover, but I think maybe.
Yeah. But definitely, if you're listening to the show, you should check that out. It's a blast, especially if you got a kid.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
posting
for
the
sure.
link
It'll
in the,
melt you. It'll
chat
melt
room.
your
Oh,
heart right away. It melts your heart right away.
Yeah, you go to that first picture when it opens up, and you're just like, oh yeah, all right, I gotta watch
You know.
this. And then you just,
It's such an amazing.
I'll
little
watch
thing
it
to do.
again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's such a cool little thing. It's a nice, cute thing. It's like kittens.
It's like curtains.
It's like kitten,
curtains.
It's like kitten videos. You
It
know what I
absolutely
mean?
no, it totally is. It totally, bro. I immediately might like hey, tough guy. Like
Yeah.
you get that little Misty and all that
Yeah.
goofy
But
stuff.
they're really it's a really cool little story.
Yeah,
with
it's really cool
really
shots.
really good images, really good work.
Yeah, it's
So
pretty cool.
yes.
I posted it for the guys in the chat room.
Oh, you found it. You did find the link. and pass it along.
I posted it.
You're
I
this guy.
might have had
This
a
guy's
little,
coming
there
for
might
your
be
heads.
a typo in
Really?
there.
Who
It
needs
says,
Ed?
It says
Ed.
Nat Man. Change the N to a B, please.
James, are you sure you got the right site?
Yeah.
You sent them to Natman News?
It's the Natman News.
Oh, did you transpose the letters and it's Natman Booze?
Yeah.
Is that what you did?
No, it's Natman.
I work with a lot of
Natman
numbers.
News.
Natmab.
I work with a lot of letters and numbers at my job. We do that shit constantly. So it's like.
I should have proofread.
Well, you know.
Proofread.
Listen, I'm not paying you. So.
This is true.
And you're really supposed to be just hanging out. But
This is true, too. But I figure, what the hell?
that's it. I mean, maybe you're gunning for somebody's gig around here. You know what I mean? Maybe these guys got to be on their toes. Maybe you're gonna pick up. Maybe you're gonna get some guitar lessons soon, and you're gonna go after that guy. I'm not saying who. I'm not saying who.
I can't play guitar to save my life.
Sorry, I'll give them the lessons. I'll be making money then.
There you go. But you know what happens to every master when he gives the lessons? Eventually, the grasshopper finally catches the pebble from your hand.
But at least in the meantime, I'll be making money instead
That's
of
it.
working for free.
That's it. That's all. And it's not kung fu. You're not getting your ass kicked. He's just gonna leave, go play
The
somewhere else.
lessons are $35 a half an hour now. So
Oh,
Jeez.
that sounds like you're charging some fucking asshole tax.
no, you gotta call up the music store. That's what they get
Is that think they're going right?
That's going
Basic
right.
lessons.
for a half hour.
For a half hour. New York City dollars, kids.
Don't ask what it is for drums and vocals.
Oh, forget it. So hey, I know that it's a great segue, that last piece, because it's newsy, but not newsy news. It's slice of life stuff. But it's gonna bring us right into the news, ladies and gentlemen. Because who doesn't love a little news?
This is true.
I was gonna go right into the whole thing of Iron Man right there.
Let's pretend it didn't happen.
What happened?
Yeah, it's news o'clock, ladies and gentlemen. News o'clock. Well, this isn't really big news because it's like we were kind of talking about it already a little bit. Walking Dead's coming back this week, and it's not like I have a headline here for it, except that I just kind of like I want to put out my prediction.
Did our niece Taryn text you saying it's coming back this week?
Well, I should probably text
My boyfriend's
her.
back on TV this week.
I should probably text her and be like, "Get your tissue boxes because people are gonna be dying."
Oh.
So in the worst case, in a secret that's not really a secret, you know, it's gonna come back this week, and somebody important's gonna die. Like that's just a matter of fact. At this point in the storyline in the comic, you know, I don't know if it's kind of like not really a secret either, but a very beloved character dies in the comic. You know what I mean? So I think
eventually that same character's got to die in the show.
I'm thinking, you know, because it's hitting the same point where, like, you know, the reason that he decided to kill off that character then in the book because he hadn't killed off any of the original main characters in a long time, and so he was like, Kirkman was like, oh, screw it, let me just make sure I kill somebody. So he offs him in the book. So the show likes to play fast and loose with the book.
Right.
So it could be really anybody. I think it's going to be more than one, mostly because in the book he only kills one. He makes his message with one. Now that we're here on TV and we have a whole amount of book readers who think they know what's coming, they like to fuck with them. So I think we're going to get two. I think I'm going to make a prediction. We're going to get Glenn and Abraham are going to die on the show.
Not Abraham.
Yeah. You know, if he had an English accent, people might like him more. But I'm just saying.
Not Abraham. He's my bloody friend.
But yeah, so if anybody watches that, my theory real quick is that
he frees the slaves.
He's going to take out Glenn. Basically, Glenn gets picked out of the eeny, meeny, miny, mo. That's basically how it happens. And then I think Abraham's just going to jump up. And then because he's the kind of character to do that kind of a thing. Right. And he was already dead in the comic books by the time this happens. Okay. So he wasn't there in the book to be that guy. And we saw somebody else die in the manner in which he died in a couple episodes before now. So it's like he's a little bit overdue, I think. Because they're not going to kill Daryl. They're just not going to kill Daryl. You know, Daryl's going to walk off into the woods one day to be like never seen again or something because heaven forbid, you know, you know,
the whole killing.
Or it'll have to be some death where like he's got to die over 8 episodes. Like he's going to get some kind of crazy stomach infection from a bad piece of fruit that he found or something. And
he's kind of too beloved to like take out 1 minute.
Yeah, they'd have to milk it. Yeah, but But that's who I want to get that out of the way because we record today and
See,
it's
now-
tomorrow. This gets posted on Monday, and this way it's locked in, and either I'm right or I'm wrong, or whatever.
Right.
Just want to get it out under the
One or the
wire.
other.
See, now you made that prediction.
Yeah.
They're probably going to end up. They'll hear this, and then what they're gonna do is, you won't see anything. The show will start, and right away someone will just walk into camp and go, "Dad was dead."
Right. It'll just be
Like,
it'll be like
fuck.
or it'll be like every other show where it just like we were talking earlier, where it picks up 3 months later, and we have to wait
Right.
until they say who died. No, but
The Flash killed him.
the fact-
It changed the timeline.
Oh Jesus! But yeah, it's definitely a thing where they are killing somebody like before the first commercial break. I'm thinking they're gonna come in hard and fast. This death is supposed to like ring through for the whole season and be a big fucking deal for everybody. Like, it's supposed to basically sap them, take the fight out of them,
Okay.
and I don't know about making them subservient necessarily is the right word, but they are gonna fall in line with
A little more pliable.
yeah, they're gonna fall in line with the big bad guy because this kind of like just destroys them. If they really wanted to make that actually work though and sync, you kill the kid, you kill Carl.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
But it's TV. I doubt they'll ever do it. Although Kirkman he's like George R.R. Martin. You know, loves to kill loved characters because he knows how important that is to do. In realistic terms. Otherwise, your audience will just always be in a safe zone where they know what's going to happen because basically they do. Everybody's safe. You know?
Yeah. No, you're right. You're absolutely right about that. It's some of my. Again, I'm a little behind on The Walking Dead.
Well, fair
Just a little,
enough. It's all right.
behind.
It's all right.
And by a little, I mean a lot.
That's right. You were listening to more important podcasts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other 3,000 shows I'm trying to watch.
Right.
But right, one of my favorite shows is Game of Thrones because of that reason.
Yeah.
First season, fell in love with Ned Stark was my favorite character.
Of course he was.
And then it was they just chopped his fucking head off. Are you kidding me?
Spoilers.
Right. Spoiler alert for anybody. I should have prefaced that with a spoiler
For any
warning.
of the,
if you
those of
haven't watched Walking
if that
Dead.
hasn't been ruined already.
But
But point being, no, but that's the thing. You know what I mean? And
right.
he plays harder with that in the book.
Right.
Much like, just much like the Game of Thrones books,
Right.
it's like in the books it's even worse. On the TV shows they kind of save it for the big people, but and it's a money thing too. Like if people aren't dying in the comic book, they're losing bodily limbs. You know what I
Right.
mean? Or these kinds of things. It's like who's missing an eye, who loses a hand,
As opposed to unbodily limbs.
right? As opposed to phantom limbs.
Oh, tree limbs.
Them two, those two. You gotta keep them pruned.
That you do.
You do. That's your tip for today. I don't know how we ended up there, but we're there. We are.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Otherwise, the tree gets knots.
That's true. That's not good.
Yeah, no, you don't want knots.
Knots are not good.
It fucks the wood.
It fucks the wood. So, I meant to shift these around. That's why I made those notes on there. I kind of forgot. I rolled right into it. We'll jump to the one here. So, Steve Dillon has passed away.
Yeah.
Steve Dillon is the original artist for the comic book Preacher. He's a comic book artist for a long time. He actually broke in when he was 16 over in England, in Europe, working on some books over there for a while. But Preacher and his run on Hellblazer was the first time him and Garth Ennis worked together. And then soon after that run or whatever, they got together and came up with Preacher and they put that into play. Since then, he's done a lot of work on The Punisher for Marvel, and actually the Garth Ennis and Steve Dillon run has a lot of the beginning of it when Frank is living, when the Punisher is living basically in an apartment building.
Right.
Is just a lot of the stuff from the Thomas Jane
Right.
one where it's kind of a little over the top, and all of a sudden it's the big Russian guy he's fighting and the scrappy fight, and they're throwing each other through walls. That's now that if you know Garth Ennis, and now that you know that, maybe that adds up. Now maybe it's like, okay, that's why there's some stuff that's just like for almost no reason feels like out of the top, over the top. But he was the artist on that run. Just an amazing artist. What was so great about him was that when everybody else was being flashy or overworked in the 90s, obviously the book was a different type of book, but was clean line art. didn't need all this cross hatching and just a big
Right, all
old
this other-
page of ink, and just trying to hide imperfections with shortcuts and stuff like that. Just a really, for me as an artist, he was like really, he meant something to me quite a bit. You know, so
No, I-
it's a sad
I see
day.
that.
We do that other show. We do
Yeah.
a Preacher versus Preacher podcast, and
We'll
so-
have to.
well,
we're gonna have to do an episode.
we'll mention it when we come back for
Yeah.
sure. When we put something together, kind of waiting for some pieces to kind of fall in line for us to start doing something to get that going
Right.
again.
I think I know what you're talking about. We've discussed this
Yeah. So
in the past.
So, we'll probably bring it up over there and maybe get a little bit more into his career and stuff like that when that time comes. Because it feels like it'd be hard pressed not to do it over there, and over here it's like how much time do you want to give it?
Right.
But sad day. It's a sad day. He'll be missed, and his influence will always be felt. Other than that, in the news, recently, I think as of today or yesterday, it turned out that director Tim Miller, is leaving the production of Deadpool 2. Him and Ryan.
Really?
Him and Ryan have had a creative difference, but supposedly it's not too big of a fight or anything because they're still working on this other project they have in the pipeline together.
Yeah,
So
because they're close.
Yeah, but and they've been working on and this is a thing they've been working on. They worked on for 10 years, basically trying to bring this Deadpool to screen, and it seems like it might be mostly because Ryan's got more pull now. And really wants to go a certain particular way, whatever that may be. But enough so that Tim is stepping to the side.
He's the one who ended up with the most weight after that because he's the face of Deadpool. He was one of the people who really pushed for it, and he was the visual
and he's a huge
of that movement.
He's a huge part of that. Without him being who he basically is by default, and falling in love with that project because it's a perfect fit. Is why you had the marketing campaign that they did. Like, what I mean?
Exactly.
A lot of that came out of supposedly him and the team just sitting in a room and just riffing and just taking like half-ass notes and then going to his house or somebody's house and just shooting them all over the course of like a couple of days. And he was so integral to more than just being in it or having some script ideas. You know what I mean? So his producer levels come up, and I guess this is what we decided to do. So whether or not that puts a crank in the production schedule.
Maybe.
Who knows?
Maybe not.
In other big news, this week.
Meanwhile,
That's right. They've picked Lando Calrissian for the Han Solo movie.
yeah, I heard this.
He's so solo.
But he's someone.
You don't know how solo he be. I guess is how we're going.
Well,
anyway,
this is a name that he's familiar to me, right?
yeah. So this is Donald Glover. He's from Community. He's also.
Did he do Creed?
No, not this kid. No. This kid's probably known more for being funny than anything
Yeah, he's
else.
done a lot more
Comedy stuff,
else.
and now that he's a little older and stuff, he's getting into he's ending up in more dramatic things. I think he probably did a little bit more dramatic stuff when he was younger. Donald, you pulling up a picture?
I have a picture of Donald Glover up. Yes.
Yeah, there you go. Donald, do you have a picture of Donald? So Bob should probably recognize him then. So
Right. Yeah, it works. He works.
He works.
Yeah, he works good.
Because I think he's gonna have the right kind of balance of the smarmy charm, the too cool charm that Billy D was bringing.
Right. He's not he's not like some round faced guy or anything who's gonna do. He kind of has. He's got those features that are Lando Calrissian.
Yeah, it falls in line. It works.
Of Billy D. Williams, you know.
Yeah,
I mean, he's got the cheekbones, he's got the jawline, he's got the chin.
Yeah, he's got a lot of similarness to it.
So he can
visually it works. I feel like he'll be able to tap into it.
Yeah, if he can tap into the cockiness, then he'll be all right.
Yeah, I think it's about the most perfect fit you're gonna find right about now.
Right.
You know, so. But one of the things that I guess it does kind of put into play is this, that basically, here you go, you're getting a younger version of him.
Right.
Probably from before he wins Cloud City. Before all this kind of went down. So it'll be interesting to see how much of a part he actually plays in the movie.
Yeah.
As opposed to like when Lando was kind of like a in and out kind of a character. Although he's integral the story and all. Don't get me wrong. Like,
Right.
you know, it just feels like he's like almost fleeting. It feels
Right.
like.
He was almost a secondary character because you
Very
didn't
much.
see him a whole lot in the movie till towards the second half of the movie.
Exactly. You know,
Yeah.
and then he's
Right.
like
And then he
integral
becomes part of the story.
Right.
And
You know.
he has importance.
Absolutely.
So,
So
he's still more of a secondary character. But now I'm thinking, you know, I had heard that he's going to be a bit more of a bad when he's a bit more of a bad guy.
yeah, probably because I think that's
Right.
supposed to be like
He's
the
kinda
thing
gonna
about
be
him
like
and Han is
Right.
like, you know,
Kind
they're
of a
early,
bad guy swashbuckler
Yeah.
versus
Right.
good guy swashbuckler
right,
kind of thing. That's what this really is going to come down to.
His alignment,
Yeah.
his Dungeons and Dragons
Yeah.
alignment.
They end up, I kind of get the impression that they end up becoming friends because they're so alike,
yeah,
and they started out as not being friends.
they're just basically zooming
Right.
around space, banging chicks, stealing stuff. That's
Right.
what I'm picturing.
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
And
that's what
they-
really happened.
Yeah,
They
they've
probably
kind of
down-
crossed paths
they
a few
probably
times and
downplay
pissed
the
each other
banging
off,
chicks.
and you know,
Yeah, exactly. So,
It's like, one will be banging the a chick, and she go, "Oh, Lando, what do you mean, Lando?" You know,
right.
hey,
Lando,
Lando.
why I order?
That son of a bitch.
Where
Maybe
is
maybe
it?
they're gonna meet Chewbacca. I heard.
A young
Chewbacca.
not so fuzzy Chewie before he let the hair grow out.
Yeah,
That'd be interesting. Short haired.
I heard that's. I heard it was possible.
Probably. I mean, it's like, what do you do? What do you? That's the thing with Han. This movie, like, do you try and squeeze it all into one movie and then?
Well, this is supposed to be a
Just-
trilogy, right? So
Well, I
mean,
think it's open enough. Is the idea? Is that it's, you know, like right now they're focusing on the one. Let's see how it does, kind of a thing. So it's not about like maybe mapping
Right.
completely for 3,
right.
but
Right.
I'm sure there's
Well, I think-
conversations.
It could be done easily enough where they all end up running into each other at a
Oh,
bar.
sure. Sure.
And most easily, maybe
Some other hive
and,
of scum and
you
villainy.
know, Lando and Han are getting at it, and and the Wookiee decides to help. and
That
take
sounds
sides.
hot. That sounds
know?
hot.
Yeah, it sounds like something a furry would be involved in.
Sounds a little more like this. That sounds more like
Star Wars.
this. So,
Star Wars.
speaking of Star Wars, there's another piece in here near the end. I'll jump to it now. But Ewan McGregor, just so everybody knows, Ewan McGregor is down if they want to do more Obi-Wan stuff. It's not official,
Yeah.
but he's just letting people
Yeah.
know.
Well, he's a director now too.
Well, yeah, and he's got a fair
So-
good point. He says, look, I'm at the age now, at 45, where to do prequel type stuff with Obi-Wan makes sense because Alec Guinness kind of started that role when he was about 65.
Right.
So-
and he was the old man Obi-Wan.
Right. So
Yeah.
now is like his prime kind of era. I mean, now,
So you see his life in
Right.
isolation.
basically.
You know,
Right. Good point. We'll have 3 movies of him doing basically nothing.
on Tatooine.
Right. Just,
Right.
just working just working that sand. Just
Let me
working
just
all that
create
moisture.
my
for
little
him.
hermitage here. We'll
You
get
know.
the house
Yeah.
set up. I'll fuck around with the sand people.
We're gonna finally try to grow something
he's
out
a
here.
moisture
Right.
farmer, right?
That's it, and
Yeah.
that I think that takes a lot of work in the desert for some reason. I would think that getting moisture in the desert it's probably better places to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A little bit difficult.
a little bit,
Just a little bit.
a little bit. But yeah, he'd be down for spin-off films. He's just letting people know, which is actually is a good idea. It's a good point.
Paycheck.
Um,
I need a paycheck.
Yes, right, exactly. Just letting you know that I'm working. I still
I
like
can
to be-
direct too.
Right.
So give me some cash.
So, in case anybody didn't think this was going to happen, Doctor Strange is confirmed to be in the Avengers, Infinity, whatever they end up calling them movies. Because they keep changing the name and stuff. And it's 2 movies? Is it 1 movie split in 2? Is it part 1 and part 2? Now they're supposed to have individual names. Whatever. But Doc Strange will be up in it, stranging it up.
And, what's his name? Jackson's now involved, and he's decided to make it 4 movies.
Right. We're just going to go.
And everyone's
3
going
and
to
a
be
half
dressed as
hours.
hobbits.
There you go. 3.5 hours of walking per movie. There'll be no
Hobbits
flying.
and Ents. Nothing but hobbits and Ents.
There you go. Ents and Ents and Ents and Ents. So, what that does bring us to now is the spot where I put the trailer talk, because a little bit of trailer talk, we don't do a whole lot of trailer talk necessarily, but this week Logan and
Logan trailer dropped, yeah.
and Guardians of the Galaxy, which
Yeah, Old Man Jackman.
Old Man Jackman, that's a good one. That's basically what you're looking at.
Yeah.
Well, I was talking to my brother a couple days ago about this.
Which one?
Danny, not
No, not Rich.
Right,
Not the other guy.
the good one, not the shitty one.
Hey.
Man,
You're probably all a little shitty at times.
This
You know
is
what?
true too. This is true too. It all depends. It's degrees.
A house with 3 boys in it. These were all
My poor
shitty.
mother. Oh, my poor mother.
Yeah, ours too.
I'm sorry, Mom. I'm sorry.
Just
Um,
fair enough. But,
we were talking about this. It seems, I don't know how much. They can't pull a whole hell of a lot from the source material.
yeah, the actual.
But
old
just
man
from
Logan story.
listening to listening to what Charles Xavier is saying in the trailers
Right.
about the girl.
Logan,
There's a girl.
I'm riding in the back, Logan.
Right.
Engage, Logan.
But it seems like it's a little bit of a
Cool.
mashup between the old man Logan storyline
Mm-hmm.
and a little bit of what my thinking, in theory anyway, is X-23. So
Yep.
it seems like there's a little bit of a mashup with that.
Yeah, they're taking.
That's
They're
what I
making.
got from it anyway.
They're making their own thing out of it. They've kind of thrown some ingredients in the stew, and they're mixing it up.
Right.
Fox.
Yeah. But you know what? I'm feeling it. I mean, if this is
The
a
trailer
thing,
looks great.
trailer
Yeah,
looks
the
great.
trailer looks great.
The tone of it.
You know?
I mean, don't get me wrong. The highest action moment is a 360 turn in a basically a Dodge pickup.
Right.
But whatever, like
Right.
fine. It got me. I'm like, that's a crazy spin, and it wasn't that crazy. It's just
Right.
like okay. But in that trailer, it's the craziest moment. So
Right.
outside of in the Red Band trailer, the only difference I think is that he pops his claws up through some guy's chin.
Right.
And I don't know if that's enough to cause a red band. Like you need a
Yeah.
separate trailer for that, really. But why go through all that trouble? Just save it for the movie. Could have just
Yeah.
left it in the movie,
Yeah,
or save it for the next trailer out because you're gonna put out 4 by before the time before it
Right.
comes out. Yeah, save it. You know?
Yeah.
Well, Google's just editing it for the whole world.
Well, no,
They're
yeah.
doing
Well,
it
I mean,
one
it's,
time, and
well, it's so that they can
get
play
the
it with.
strictest.
Yeah, well, it's the studio. It's so they can play one trailer with the PG-13 movies and
Right.
The other
Oh,
one with the
yeah.
rated R movies.
True.
And that's a question too. Like, will this end up being rated R? It's not rated yet.
Something I read, I
Said that-
believe it will be a rated R
That's what they're
movie.
sh-
that's what
But
they're
I don't
shooting
remember
for.
where I saw it, but
I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. I think.
it worked for Deadpool.
Yeah.
I think Fox might have learned a lesson a little bit,
Yeah,
just a little bit.
You can
that
get away with Wolverine.
R-rated movies
Absolutely.
can
Yeah.
make money.
they can make money, and this is a
Mm-hmm.
character on the screen that is generationed up, where
Right.
those kids that you all watched the PG-13 movies are now
Right.
adults. So
Right.
that's the same audience. They've
Right.
shifted up.
Exactly.
They can buy rated
True.
R movie
Makes
tickets
sense.
now.
Right.
So you have all that. But yeah, so it's definitely got some differences with the Old Man Logan book,
Right.
but it looks like they keep it a few things.
Right.
Not to spoil it in any way, but I think they are, and I hope they are keeping the actual, like when he says all the mutants are gone, like
Right.
why that is and what that was in the book. Because
Right.
I think that's the main point of. It's a very crucial point to the whole point of that story.
Right.
So I think you'd be missing out if you didn't do that.
Right.
The X-23 thing, while having him get stuck with a kid and having to travel and go on a road trip is a
Right.
cool thing. I can't imagine any other little kid in X-Men that would be worth it. So all right, we'll take this kid who's like a character, not even 10 years old in our world, like it's a
Right.
new character, fairly enough, and jam it into this last story of Logan. Like it feels like you're taking these two ends of a timeline and jamming
Right.
them together almost. It's a very strange thing a little bit because she's a little kid in it.
Right. She's 10 years old.
Yeah.
12 years old.
So this brings me to a question. So I have a theory about this movie, and tell me what you think. So if it's like he's old now, and it looks like the mutants are all gone or some shit, some time has passed.
Right.
I don't think Professor X is alive. I think that's in his head. I think that's why he's in the back seat. I think it's this thing that they might be playing with. It might be, I'm going to call it, it might be a sixth sense moment where it's like a thing you're not supposed to really kind of catch on, but you kind of do. Professor X, maybe he's dead physically, but his brain
Right.
is stuck inside of Wolverine, or he manages
Right,
to...
or it's in Cerebro, which is still running somewhere.
and manages to every now and then be able to, if he concentrates hard enough, I can get inside your head. Logan, change my diapers, Logan.
And actually,
Use the force, Logan.
I can only do dying Patrick Stewart. You. I can't. I have to keep it low. Like if I'm at work and I'm trying to do it, and like I have to smoke like 5 cigarettes in a row, and then like I can only whisper as him, and it's like not always. But there you go. Yeah, a little bit.
You got to listen to the Strongbow commercials.
Yes, right.
Then you get some more moods because he really emotes.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. My range on it, though, I've realized is like, it's only when he's dying. Like it's not even like that good. You know what I mean? But it's only at that pitch. I can't move around. Otherwise, it just sounds like me doing a jackass. I completely fucked up.
It almost sounds like you're trying to whisper as Mumra, our friend Mumra.
They all kind of sounded like Bane.
Yeah.
They all kind of sound like Bane without the cup.
Right.
All right.
One's a little raspier, and the other one's had a bit more of an accent.
Yes, brother. They tend to be so. For you.
No, I expect you to die. No, Mr. Wayne, I expect you to die.
When X-Men Mansion is in ashes, then you may die. Until then, stay around. All right, so
all right.
there you go. I had a little bit of notes. Yeah, so maybe that's the case, right? Maybe
It's-
I'm thinking maybe Professor
what?
X is in his head
Could be.
because I'm like, why is he in the back, kind of thing? And I was like, this guy should be dead. He's
Right.
He's
Like-
basically looking like he slipped out of the home in this anyway. Like
Right.
he's so old and feeble. He's like, this desert was hot. You know what I mean? Good gracious. And like finds him. You know what I mean?
But get me a sweater anyway.
I'll have tea Earl Grey. But hot. No sugar. I don't know. Did he take sugar?
No, just hot.
Just tea Earl Grey hot.
Okay.
So, and it looks like those bad guys are the Reavers. Reavers are a bunch of characters that popped up in the late 80s, early 90s. During Claremont, the writer on that was Claremont, and Mark Silvestri, I think, was drawing it. But they came and went so many times. Eventually, like Jim Lee was drawing it too, and stuff like this. But I think that stuff started with the Australian adventures when the team got stuck in the outback. And they're very cyborg stuff. They're all cyborgs and half machine type shit. So that's exactly it, Bob. It's the Robotos, and you just don't see any of that really in the trailer. You get to see who's probably
little bit of it, but
you get to see some blonde-haired dude who's probably Donald Pierce, that character, as a leader of that squad or whatever. But they seem to be taking the place of the Hulks of the Hulk family.
You know what? It would have
as
been
the
nice.
big bad boys in this. I just wonder how.
You can't use the Hulks, which I know.
I just don't think they're going to use. Well, obviously, that's a whole crazy. Never thought Marvel would put that storyline to print. Angle of them anyway. So I don't think any of that crazy incestuous crap. Yes, I said incestuous. Yes. Kids, go look up Old Man Logan. Go pick up the book. It's one trade paperback. You'll love it.
Read it.
It totally flips around the Marvel stuff like crazy. So I'm guessing that those are going to be the familiar components are going to be that he's old. He doesn't want to do this shit no more. I think his healing factor is slowing down. He's all scarred up. His hands seem to be bleeding, so maybe his healing factor is slowing down. He's getting past his prime now. He just wants to be left alone. Just wants his beard to grow.
Maybe he doesn't have his adamantium.
He's doing a very good Mel Gibson impression with that fucking beard.
Yeah.
So that's basically all I have for that. Those are my notes. Those are my thoughts, and do with them as you will.
Yeah, I like the trailer. I'm hopeful, but you got to see. It's Fox. You know what I mean?
And that's the thing. Like, I feel like it's one of those. Like, it's a good trailer.
Right.
It's a solid trailer, and trailers can be deceiving in both directions.
Yeah.
There's a lesson we learn all the time.
This is very true.
So speaking of trailers that really don't show much, this Guardians of the Galaxy trailer came out.
Yeah.
Which was nice. It was fun.
It was a feel-good trailer.
That totally represents the movie. Like, that's what those movies are.
It opens up.
And that song will now never be associated with Reservoir Dogs for me anymore. Like, it used to be.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Now it's strictly. That's all I hear.
Enough time, I think, has gone by, though, Bill.
Oh, yeah. And that's one of those songs. It's so unique and boisterous, or some word I can't put my finger on that. Like, it could probably just get stamped on anything. It would just become that. It's such like an iconic kind of arrangement. So we just see a little bit of everybody, but you get mostly a scene with just
Star-Lord and Drax.
Star-Lord and Drax.
A very emotional moment.
You know,
Not
Drax,
that Star-Lord really wanted it,
no,
but
no. He was not in favor of it.
Would you like a hug?
To be honest, I love
Would you like a hug?
Dave Bautista's delivery
Yeah.
as Drax, just especially in that
Well,
scene
you know what?
in the trailer.
He's been
It's just-
active
he's
for
very-
years in wrestling.
So
He's
flat and
it's
it's
right,
deadpan.
he plays it completely serious,
Yeah.
and it's completely ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what's great is that he's able, like Bob said, like, you know, he's got some chops in him.
Right.
Right.
I'm glad that we're like.
I mean, he's been
as
in a
an
soap
actor-
opera for like 15, 20 years.
Right.
Fair enough.
Right.
You know.
Right. So I mean, that's you got to know how to play it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like comedians.
Sure.
When comedians go and they do some serious stuff,
Right.
they usually nail it
Yeah.
because comedy is about
harder,
is
generally
it's
speaking.
generally speaking it's harder
Yeah.
and it's about the human emotion. You
Right.
have to know how to pull on those strings
Right.
because you're trying to get people to laugh.
Yeah. Exactly.
Right. So
It's a very specific one, as
Right.
opposed to a lot of times where it's like I'm trying to elicit emotion or feeling. Comedy's about landing. Like sometimes a scene will just put you in the ballpark, but with a joke, it's supposed to make you do one specific reaction. Like, you know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
And everybody in the room,
right.
not just some of you.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean?
It's supposed to
It's
get
a-
everybody.
You know, and you get some of that at work in wrestling, because a lot of times these things are set up as to be goofy moments, and
Right.
it's
Well,
not.
it's all supposed to be over the top.
It's all exactly.
It's all over dramatic.
Yeah.
So
But some of that shit is funny, and it's
Right.
supposed to be funny
right.
too. Like-
Once in a while, the writers of this stuff
Yeah.
they go over. They go, let's see how
Absolutely.
far we can carry this.
right,
Right.
exactly.
Right.
You know,
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
and you can see a little bit of it when the guys are doing their thing.
Right. No,
You know?
and it's I'm glad
But-
he's getting to segue into it. As
Yeah.
opposed to some other guys who like tried to transition in
Right.
and they went too full, too hard, too fast, where it's like,
Hulk Hogan.
there you go, brother. You
That's-
got it,
That's
brother.
the first example.
That's
right?
well, of a
Right.
long list, right?
Yeah.
You know, Stone Cold Steve Austin didn't last, and Roddy Piper had the one movie, which is actually a good movie.
Oh well, They Live.
They Live,
They
yeah.
Live is a classic. They Live
Yeah,
is great.
Absolutely.
That's one like I'm surprised it hasn't gotten remade, but I think because
Right.
Carpenter's probably still
I
around.
want Troma to
it-
remake that one.
I think because Carpenter's still
Oh.
around, he's probably shooting down any effort
Yeah.
anybody else
Oh, yeah.
makes to try and redo that.
I got to be in that movie.
Like, I don't care.
I own a piece of that.
Exactly.
I think he died though.
So then also in that trailer, you got to see a little Groot.
A little bit of Baby Groot.
A little bit of
Baby
just
Groot.
just a tiny little, quick little at the end of the trailer.
Yeah. So not much to go on that except
Man.
So we're not too
Adorbs.
far removed from what happened in the past, because Groot
Yeah.
hasn't had a chance to fully grow up yet.
Well, here's the thing too. It's a good point because I think in the movie, like when he needed to regenerate a limb, like that went pretty quick.
Right.
Like if he I think when he would get all busted up, like
Right.
it didn't last
Like when he got
long.
his arms chopped off in the first movie, his arms were back.
Right? Like
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they were halfway
Next
grown
scene,
when they
like,
were getting booked.
that's what I mean. Like
You
they're
know, they're
already
in a-
growing out and stuff.
Right.
So you would think the sproutling might grow a little faster, unless, like Bob's pointing out, maybe it's right up against it. Maybe
Yeah.
this one picks
Yeah.
up very closely to where the other one left off, which is rare for these things. And they usually just 3 years have passed and now they're even
Right.
better buddies.
Right.
So we can just shortcut all that, But
And maybe we're gonna get then. All right, now what do we do? That's over. What do we do next?
exactly.
You know.
So also, well, that's it for the trailer stuff. And then I put this Nintendo new system came out. Well, it was
Yeah, the
announced.
Switch,
The
right?
Switch,
Yeah.
which I don't know. I just kind of threw it to you guys before we started to check it out. And
I think
what do you
the-
guys think about it? Like,
well,
what are your thoughts on it? Like, it's
yeah.
just
I thought it was actually kind of cool. I think it's about the only way Nintendo can go
Right.
at this point.
Yeah. Well, I think Nintendo's they're trying to do a little bit of the best of both worlds kind of deal, where it's
Right.
mobile gaming. They got guys playing games on their iPads and
Mm-hmm.
their tablets, cell phones and stuff, and people who serious gamers who sit at home with their consoles and their
right.
computers and
Mhm.
and
Right.
play these games. They're trying to get that demographic, I guess, that isn't really represented by either side of that. They're
Yeah.
It might be all things to
semi-serious
everybody.
Yeah. Well.
gamers, right.
Right.
Now, whether the hardware is up to spec to do that,
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, here's why I was looking at it as we have everything we need on our cell phones now, including gaming.
right?
And we're always on the go.
Right.
So how does a gaming company
Yeah.
survive in that market? They can't make a cell phone. No one's going to buy a Nintendo cell phone.
No.
And, the
Not
hardcore
really.
nerds, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you can't enter it that way.
Right.
So you have to backdoor. You still have to do the gaming system, but now you have to make a mobile option.
Right. Sure.
So the way to do, this is about the best way they can do that, I think.
Yeah.
Whether or not it's going to succeed is going to come up to the software, which
Yeah.
is always
Mhm.
always Nintendo's problem. If they can conquer that and not be the only one making games, steady amount of good games,
Right. Yeah.
Right. If they can get other
yeah.
game developers in there to make good stuff for the system.
Yeah. But I think because they're cutting out a whole section of their own market they don't need the Game Boy now. So
Yeah.
now you're going to have developers who are not going to be making other games for you.
I mean, that's true. I guess to a degree, yeah. I hadn't thought about that. I
So-
think,
Might actually make things more difficult for Nintendo to get more commitment.
yeah, I mean, I think that it is interesting that the way that they're trying to, like, blend all these different kind of abilities to play, like, ways to play. Like, all right, you come home, you slap it right into your dock, and it's your
Right.
your
you
home.
you have the system. You have the home system right there, and you've got the dock for the controllers, which is actually a tablet, which you can take with you.
Right.
You can use it as a controller, and then you can take the controllers off, and then you
Put
can
your
use the
little
screen.
kickstand on the
Put the
screen.
kicky stand on the screen, and you can play, or you can play with somebody else.
Right.
You can play
Right.
LAN style.
Yeah, they were showing a lot of that in
Yeah.
the trailer.
They were showing
like,
a lot
trying
of
to
LAN
make it
group
style
play,
stuff.
like
Yeah.
group play.
So they're going to be going for that Wii casual gamer that's on the go.
Yeah.
And wants to have
I
fun.
did like that
Yeah.
kind of angle where it was just so multifaceted.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, not only are these side controllers that just pop off, it's like, no, they still work, and they're individual controllers now. It's not
Right,
just
they're
like
individual
it's not just
controllers
like
as
the
well.
right one only does this one function and the left one only does this other function.
Right.
It's like
Now they
people were
both
sharing
work.
them. It's like,
Right.
yeah, you take this one and I got this
We
one.
turned it
Right.
sideways, and now I have my
Yeah.
directional pad, and my two
Yeah.
buttons.
There was a lot of
Right.
ingenious little things in it, and I'm like, it'd be a shame
Yeah.
if it doesn't kind of take off
Yeah.
because I think there's some
Nintendo-
really good ideas there.
Yeah, Nintendo always has. They always try and take little risks. Sometimes they don't work, like the Nintendo 64 and its controller.
That's actually a very apt description of what Nintendo does. Little risks. They
Right.
take they are risks, but they're small compared to.
Right. Now, I think this is a bigger risk, but I think this is a risk that they got to take because they're the number 3 in the market at this point when it comes to
Right.
when you're talking purely gaming.
Yeah, they have to go big or go
You know,
home at this point.
And they've been surviving for years on just their own stuff.
Yeah, so now my thought too is like, I see it as being a thing though, where like,
Well, how about the chat room?
well, let's ask them to start. I mean, they're kind of putting in some stuff. I was gonna just to finish my thought. I was like, I see this as a
Sorry.
thing. No, sorry. I see this kind of like a thing where it might be just kind of eaten up by little kids. Like they might just
Right.
take to it for some reason. I'm not sure why I feel like
It's
that.
definitely going to be a family thing because I can see
It
mom
might be
and dad.
the brand. I
it's
guess
like,
maybe
you know
that's the
what?
impression I'm getting from the brand because it's Nintendo. Maybe
Right.
it's a subconscious thing.
It's I could definitely see
Tweens.
it, like having the home
Yeah.
console, and then you have like the kids in the minivan. All right, come on, kids, we got to go. We got to go to the store.
Yeah.
Take it and sit them in the back of
Right.
the car and shut them up. Maybe there'll be a connection that you can use your existing video screens in your
Right.
minivan. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's definitely family stuff.
Yeah, James has got a couple of points.
What's up,
It's
James?
Nintendo-
James B. Hahn?
Yeah, he's basically he's agreeing. He's Nintendo's always been safe for kids. It's always been a G-rated gaming system. The fact that they ever had, I think, Resident Evil on it at some point.
Yeah, that was a
Right.
big
that
deal.
was a huge surprise. Like who
With
thought they would?
no blood.
Yeah, well,
It was always
Yeah, no blood.
Mortal Kombat when
well,
Mortal
it was
Kombat
still
first
even
came
with no
out.
blood,
Well,
it was
you know,
still
No, right. It was still
Resident Evil was still the scariest thing they ever did.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean? It's like oh my god, like ooh.
Yeah. Oh, let me turn around. Click, 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 click. Oh crap! It was
I'm
mine.
sure it was Resident Evil 1, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my God, these
But,
plants! I gotta
The
combine these
turning around
plants.
was like click, click,
Yeah,
click,
yeah, it was a
click.
little-
You spin around in little circles.
I remember it feeling clunky at the time. I was like,
Yeah.
this is a little stiff.
Yeah.
It was good, but I remember at the time.
It was functional.
Yeah, I remember even at that time, even though it was brand new, I was like, yeah, it's a little sticky. And he also says, yeah, Nintendo's never really been racy. Tom Jackson Jr. says PlayStation and Xbox aimed at teenagers and adults, from James B. Ham. James also says, hey, remember Dreamcast and Final Fantasy when Digipets were big? You could grab your chocobo and play mini games, like a Digipet level to level up. It's just some random stuff. So yeah,
Well, I remember going to the casino and doing the chocobo races in Final Fantasy VII.
Oh my God,
Right.
the chocobo races, the
Remember that?
chocobos. Oh my God, the chocobos. Hours trying to figure out the materia, that whole system.
I still remember the end of fight music.
With the Sephiroth, the fucking final
Well,
round.
when you end a fight, it's like the horns.
Oh, that thing. Okay, when it all tallies up.
Da, 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 da.
Oh, Jesus.
The money rolls up.
It's
The
like,
gill.
it's like traumatic right now. How many
Collecting
hours?
materia and putting them on your sword
Me and
and
Mike,
your armor.
Mike, he was on the show, played that for hours where he would play and we'd get the book. And we would just know where everything is and just read the book straight through. Because the game was so big, it was just as much fun. Like, it really didn't take
Yeah.
anything away from it.
Yeah, you can still do 100 hours in the game.
You still, yeah, because we were actually
Easily.
literally, the book is telling us where to go to get everything. So,
Right.
we're not,
Yeah.
it's still
What the hell, why
exploration.
not?
It still
Yeah,
feels like it.
I finished the game in about 99 hours because, and I didn't use the book. I had the book, but I wasn't using it all the time.
Sure.
And I wasn't trying to get everything, and I still did almost 100 hours.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, it's no joke. Yeah, those games
Because I think it was the first game to have a timer that went over 100.
probably was.
I think they all did 99, 99
I wouldn't be
at that
surprised.
point, and then they stopped,
All right. So with that, we're out of the news. So, speaking of games, Donald,
Yeah.
I asked you earlier to think about who you might challenge to a round of super
Super
fights.
Fight.
Yeah. Donald. Donald!
I think I'm going to challenge you, Bill.
Oh, Donald. Well, it wasn't much choice. It was 50-50.
This is true.
It was 50-50. All right,
Either way, he's
Donald.
taking on a Sweeney.
Donald,
This is
ladies
true,
and
too.
gentlemen, those of you who are not aware, but I look in the chat room and I see that you're all pretty aware. You get one white card, you get two black cards to start out. What are you going to do? Don't take from the edges. Take from the inside somewhere. These are all been used, previously enjoyed. I will take my white one. I will take my two black cards, sir. Okay. Oh, well, actually, we were kind of supposed to do it different, but we'll do it like this. All right. We were supposed to wait
right,
for
so-
the second card, but it's fine. We'll play like this.
All
This
right.
might make it
Let's
faster.
get ready to rumble.
All right, Donald. Who are you?
Ooh, I think I got to pay somebody for that.
Who are you, and what do you got?
I am the
I said-
Kardashians.
Oh shit!
Fucking hate those people. I'm 100 stories tall,
Oh man!
and my tongue can stretch and move at will.
Wow!
Wow, I think that describes the
Wow.
Kardashians
That's
pretty well.
Basically, tongue can stretch and move at will.
Yeah, the Kardashians are a 100-foot tall monolith that you can't, that won't
How
stop
big?
talking.
You thought that ass was big before?
Wow.
Jesus! Wow! All right. The
Now
smell,
it has its own zip
the
code.
smell coming off of that thing. Okay. All right. It's pretty good, man. I don't think I'm gonna measure up, but I got the Mario Brothers.
Oh, it's a me.
They have long metal claws that pop out of their hands, and they're on stilts. So I'm
All right,
I'm a little
so
taller
now-
than average. Well, basically, the Marios.
So now they're 6'6".
yeah. I was just gonna say they're about basic
They're standing
average.
6'6".
Yeah,
And they still got that 14-inch reach
yeah, right. Yes,
with the Wolverine claws.
right. So they've measured up. They're about the size of like a real adult. Like,
So they basically look like a couple of real life Wolverines on stilts.
yeah, basically dressed as plumbers.
There you go.
So I don't know, man. So you're the guest. The first move is on you, or you can pass, and I'll make the first move.
Let's see.
Mm.
I tend to be a little reactionary, so I'm gonna let you go first.
All right.
Yeah,
So
go.
I am the Mario Brothers, and you are the Kardashians. Shit.
Yeah.
How many is that?
It just says the Kardashians, so I'm
Well,
assuming
it's
it's
an
all
ever
of them.
growing. Yeah, it's an ever growing thing, man. I mean,
Like the dad, like the lawyer dad,
this-
the OJ
I don't know.
lawyer
I
dad.
don't know if it'll be. Well, I think
mean,
when,
how many
when people are
Kardashians-
talking
He's
about
dead.
the Kardashians,
Well, I
they're
think
talking
he's
about
dead.
the sisters.
All right.
It's just the three
That's
sisters.
Fair. Let's. Well, Bob, you're the judge here. You'll have to help.
well,
us
I was thinking
referee.
the three sisters and the mom.
All right.
That-
Fair enough.
That's
fair
the
enough.
original core group from the original show.
All right, I could take
right.
2 and 2. All right, I could split these up. All right, so the Mario Brothers are gonna, they're gonna charge fast and strong. I think that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna try to divide and conquer. They're gonna take 2 and 2. I think what they're gonna do is they're gonna go for asses. As
Right for
I
the
mean,
ass.
I'm not saying that they're ass men, but I think it's a giant open shot. You know, it's easy to get to. It's hard to miss. They'll probably freak out when it gets hit, as opposed to someplace else. They'll probably get really overly concerned. They're very protective. That's like that's
Right.
part of their.
Well,
Right.
I would think
it's part of their brand.
they would be very protective of all their silicone parts.
Exactly. The silicone might start leaking, you know, and that might slow them down.
A still explosion.
So that's my first move, Donald. What's your counter? What's your counter move?
So what's your
Well-
move again?
So I'm
you
just gonna
gotta-
go for their asses.
He's stabbing me in the ass.
I'm
with
thinking
his
if I
metal
go for their
claws.
asses, it's enough of a distraction.
All right,
We
so
can
you
try
got
and work them down from there.
each Mario brother standing between two of them, going like this: one with the left and one on the right.
Like, granted,
Like-
they're huge.
Stabbing them in the asses, one in the left cheek, one in the right
Right,
cheek.
alternating.
the
Stab,
opposite one,
stab,
right?
stab, stab.
Stabby stab. Stabby stab.
Yeah, it's a little rough, but yeah, that's the best I got right now. What about what do you do?
Well, being 100 stories tall, that makes me 1,000 freaking feet. I'm 1,000 feet tall
Really not making a dent on
with a tongue that can stretch and move at will. I'm
Oh,
just
shit.
gonna eat Luigi and step on Mario.
So you're 100 stories tall, or you're
I'm
100 feet tall?
I'm 100 stories tall.
All right, so you're well trained
Wow.
instead of tall, basically.
Wow, yeah. I'm really
So-
not. I really don't have much.
Yeah, I'm
doomed.
Yeah.
I'm gonna eat Luigi. I'm gonna step on Mario.
Yeah. Well, you have to rethink your
Yeah,
attack, for
I
sure.
think that's it. I think I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to say
Yeah,
we need
'cause-
we need a third card. I have to
Okay,
say that we still have to do a round 2 here. So take
Right,
another black
yeah.
card,
Originally, I think we were supposed to do one black
One-
and one white.
and
We
then
did
another.
2 black,
Yeah, I pulled it wrong.
so it's okay.
It's still one. It's still for
We still
2
got to work
rounds.
it with another one. So
Okay, what do you got, Donald?
And they can fly if nobody is watching.
All right, well, I guess that won't be happening. We're
All right,
fighting.
So are you guys fighting in the Pacific Northwest among the redwoods?
Yeah, it's basically Pacific
mean-
Rim. It's like we're down at the beach. You know, a lot of slow.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping for. It's like Pacific Rim,
Right.
but real world physics,
You
where
guys
like
are like fighting over at Bikini Atoll.
yeah, we're like we're right because it's so big.
Right,
like
the
their
most remote
movement would
place
be
on
really
Earth.
limited and
Right.
slow, not like in the movies. This is not helping me at all. Now Mario and Luigi are armed with tridents, which don't matter because we had those strapped to the back of our hands. We had Wolverine claws, which are basically built-in tridents, if you think about it. But we can throw these.
You can throw those.
So I think basically the idea is it's armed with A, so we only get 1 each. And it's if you don't hit, you can't knock them down. I got nothing. I'm gonna throw them. I'm gonna hope for the best. I'm really not getting a lot out
Are you
of
going to
this.
aim for something, or are you just going to?
I'm going for the face. I'm going for their eyes.
Okay.
I'm going nasty. I'm gonna fight like a girl. I'm going
well,
right
with
for the eyes.
with that tongue that could stretch, I'm just gonna.
Or maybe what I'll do is I'll get one of them and I'll jam the trident in the hair and try to pull out the weave, or
There you go.
like twist it up like a fork. You know what I mean? Just yank it out. Try and get some of that weave.
That could hurt.
I can hurt. I don't know if
That
to put
could
them down
hurt.
for the countdown. I think I'm just too small. I think what it comes down to is my Mario brothers are just they're a little small. It's a little Mario. It's a little Mario.
I need a super. I need a power up.
Yeah.
Where's a mushroom? Let me take a mushroom. I feel so much better. It's a Kardashians. I make a no headway against the Kardashians. Excuse.
Well,
Yeah, I'm sticking with my original.
yeah, no reason to
fight.
change, right?
I'm just gonna step on Mario
Yeah.
and eat Luigi.
So, let's
You're
see.
gonna get
Let's
stuck
see.
between
All
your
right,
teeth.
James B. Ham. Although I can't use it, he says the secret coin level must have been in the other tunnel.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mario could just jump up the piping when he attacks her ass. And what power-up suits does Mario have? He pops a star, and that's an instant win. And then I could have scratched her face and ruined her modeling career. All good
Yeah.
All that-
maneuvers.
yeah.
Yeah,
that
remember,
would've
you got to
been bad.
remember, there's a power up that he grows.
Well, that's true, but he only
Yeah.
doubles in size. He doesn't get huge.
Yeah, but
does
he can shoot fireballs.
That's true. And I don't know any of these other later Mario games. There could be a whole power set I'm not aware of.
Right. Yeah, there's a new one. There's a new version. He can go so big that he can destroy the actual gameplay area.
He turns into like a Godzilla size.
Yeah, Godzilla sized thing. He's actually
Well, shit, that's what I need. I hope I can get that. Where's that card? Fuck.
I don't know.
These damn cards. All right, Bob, you're gonna have to make the call. Who
Well-
wins this round of Super Fight?
Well, because you weren't even trying to get creative with
Well, I just
a
felt like
couple
I
video game characters
I
that could
couldn't-
become effectively a couple 100 feet tall.
Yeah, I didn't know. I
Yeah.
didn't know before I gave up.
You could have tried to fight and make an argument for it.
Well, it's your call.
But-
You can say based on the card sets
Yeah.
or the
Based
the
on-
fights that we put out. It's
Yeah.
up to you. Whatever you feel.
It's based on the fight you guys put up. I'm sorry, Bill, but
No,
the
it's fine.
Kardashians win.
It's fine. That's
No.
fine. I get.
Folks,
I
even
feel
I
like-
I'm
don't-
disappointed in
Yeah,
that.
I don't ever want the Kardashians to win.
You know, I mean, it's
You know?
not.
If you had just said like I'm going to throw the tridents, I'm going to aim for an implant, and then I'm going to like shove them up, I'm going to crawl up their asses, and I'm going to start looking for all the silicone I can. I might have been able to make an argument for you.
No, you're right. No,
You know?
yeah.
You were just like, well, I'm
just,
done.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, you're right. I kind of pulled this plug out of that myself. I just couldn't see anything. I really didn't. Well, congratulations, Donald. You're the big winner on this one.
Does he get another coffee mug?
Does he get another coffee mug? No, he's got one is
Yay.
enough. One is enough. All right.
He's got one $30 coffee mug.
There you go. Enjoy.
Hey, listen. I use that damn thing every
The coffee
day.
tastes amazing in this cup. You're gonna pass that down for generations and generations.
Generations to come.
These kids are gonna be like, "What the hell was this show? Why are these episodes still posted up all these years later? Who's paying for this account? Is that what he did? Is that what he did with all his money? Just prepaid the Libsyn account.
Sorry, kids. No.
So when I'm dead,
Right?
that's all I care about. I just want the episodes to go on as long as they can. They
Keeps you immortal, right?
Exactly.
Make it-
That's it.
And set up a Twitter account to just
Everybody
post every
needs a
day as
legacy.
if
There you go. So Walt Disney didn't have to like have his head cut off and frozen after all, huh?
Basically not, I guess, is what it comes down to.
Not anymore.
All right, boys. Vamp for me a little bit. I'm pulling up the old emails. Oh, Donald, let's see what the guy said in the chat room.
Vamp, vamp, vamp.
James B.
Bam,
Ham says
bam.
his open bias against the Kardashians means that Mario would automatically win. I appreciate that. The vote there, buddy.
James, I agree with you.
And Palmer says, yeah, Bill's Mario Brothers would find the new Silicon Valley.
There you go.
Dun, Silicon Valley? Silicon,
Yeah,
Silicon? All right.
That just summed it up.
That just summed it up and wrapped it up. All right, so
Just when
thanks for
things
playing.
were corny enough, Palmer comes along.
Oh, poor Palmer. I'm
And,
going picking
yeah.
on Palmer.
He comes up with an overdose.
Yeah, a little bit. So let's go into emails. Bob, you remember emails? It's good. You know what? I kind of forgot to do something earlier. No, not that. This. Donald. Awesome Donald. Everybody loves Awesome Donald. He's really, 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 really awesome. He's awesome Donald. He wears a little hat out in the streets. I wish we kept on going. I so want to know what the next line is. I so want to. I have no clue. Every time I hear it, I'm like, what is the next line? He wears a little hat out in the street. Says hello to everyone he meets. It's something.
We're wearing bunny slippers on his feet.
I like it.
There we go.
There you go. And you're just stomping
Right.
people out with your
Wasn't
bunny slippers
there,
on.
back in the 70s, wasn't there a Don who used to walk around?
Like a Don, like of the family?
Yeah, like a Don of the family. He used to walk around outside.
Oh, yeah.
Like he was crazy.
Yeah.
And he was walking
Yeah, who
around with
was
the
that?
robe, with the robe and the slippers. He'd be walking
One
around.
of the, I think I want to see one of the Genoveses, but he was out, because he was trying to dodge, he was trying to claim insanity. He was crazy.
Wasn't he one of the Bologna brothers?
Right, one of the Bologna family.
The Bologneses, whatever they
Yeah,
are.
the Bolognese. The Bolognese family.
Yeah.
And the
The
sauce.
spaghettis.
Watch out for the Sausalito twins. All right, that's a different family, though. And in order for me to come out and play that clip, I had to leave the email app, but now I'm back in it. All right, so first one comes from Chad Rose. Hey, he says, given all the Robots Go Mad movies and now TV with Westworld, will we ever see an integration of AI androids to the degree that they are portrayed in film and stuff like that? Like where they're just so super lifelike that they're living side by side with us. Like, would we ever allow it, I guess, like socially?
I don't think so.
No, definitely not our generation. We're already.
I just
freaked
know
out
that if
about
anybody
stuff
from
as
our
it is.
generation would actually successfully be frozen and brought back to life in a future that had them,
Yeah.
then people would like come awake and go, hello, I am an android. Die.
Don't try and explain to me that they're good.
Kill me.
I don't care what the track record is. They just destroy them
I
all.
call bullshit.
I've seen too much anti-robot propaganda, I guess.
You're a terrorist.
Right.
Don't tell me you're an android.
Right.
Android's on my phone.
Well, they'd be calling you the terrorist, Bob, because you woke up and started killing their beloved android. So we'd be terrorists for trying to stop the impending invasion, which was not as impending because they'd be everywhere.
Anti-android terrorist.
That's what I'm saying. You're an anti-androidist.
There you go.
I guess.
It sounds like just like somebody I know was an Apple fan.
I'm an anti-apocalypsist.
I'm not
You know
an
what I
Apple.
mean?
I'm not an Apple fan. I'm an anti-android.
I'm an
anti-androidist.
There you go. All right. It's all about Google Play. So I don't know, man. I it's kind of what I think might happen. Like, it's just that I think it would get a little too close to being real, and most services or creators would kind of like keep that buffer.
Yeah.
Where it's like, all right, unless people want to fuck it, let's just keep it not too real.
Right.
Because you know the people don't want to.
You know what?
Because here's the thing.
The porn industry is what's going to get us AI.
Exactly. See, here's the thing. People who want to
The
fuck
porn
it.
industry has gotten mankind everything since like the 1600s.
Exactly. That's always been from the Gutenberg press to good old Steve Gutenberg, to VCR war of Betamax versus VHS.
Yeah. To the print.
The internet blowing up
Yeah,
overnight.
internet, yeah, really. is.
Blu-ray, HD, DVD.
You know, the
it's
dark
all-
web. You name something.
It's
Basically, it's about
all
porn.
Yeah.
porn.
But
porn has had a huge hand in it.
But my point is, like, whatever, like, but people who want to fuck it, they're going to be constantly on the chase for real. You know what I mean? Like, it's got to be more real. It's got
they
to be
don't
more
want real
real.
now. They want the fake now. They're gonna want real fake.
Oh,
later.
don't get me wrong.
You know what
It
I
ain't
mean?
going to have, they're going to shut
Oh, you
off the
mean I can
personality.
have an Android that I can have sex with, and it's real strong, right? All right, so then I can have it with a gigantic freaking fake ass.
Yeah. Well, that's
You
what, right, but that's not my point. My point is that, like, they could probably just turn off the smart features. Like, they don't want to hear it talk. Like, they don't want the real, like, the
Just
smart one.
shut up and open
You know
your
what I mean?
mouth.
They don't want the
Well, yeah,
functional
it'll
one.
kind of be like an extension of what goes on in Japan with geishas, because geishas aren't prostitutes.
Right.
They're like companions. They're like
Yeah.
someone you could talk to, and who makes you feel like you're a good man. And then you go home to your wife, and you don't have to tell her all the work stuff.
Right.
You could just do the family thing. That's the kind of. And then they have real prostitutes.
Right. No, you're right, though. There's
You know
a
what I
different
mean?
level.
So
Totally different level. One
it
is
would-
one is honorable.
Yeah. So it would be something similar to that.
All right. So let's go over to the next email.
Emails.
So it's
Lots
from
of
our
emails.
good friend Brian Hughes, all the
Mr.
way
Hughes.
Aye.
from Scotland.
Aye.
Says, greetings, folks.
The land of haggis.
Hope you guys are well. I'm gonna stop now. Been up to my neck in work and
Haggis and
shit,
ale.
and have been neglectful in sending emails. Apologies. Sad news today concerning Steve Dillon. I'm sure the geek flag at Wicked Theory Towers is flying at half-mast.
That it is.
Basically, yeah, that's a good way to put it. So
Yeah.
he's got some questions. Any of you going to pre-order the Nintendo Switch? Feels a bit gimmicky to me. Battery life needs to be really good if it's going to succeed. Instead, I've got a Nintendo Classic Mini on order. The retro classic games. I guess that's that little tiny one.
The little tiny
Right.
NES system.
yes. Little baby NES.
Right, it's like an NES controller that's got all the games inside it.
Yeah, well, it looks like
The actual NES.
The actual
things,
NES.
Oh,
the
okay.
things
and
maybe
it comes with the controllers, but it's like this big.
Oh,
Right.
And it's got
Tiny.
like I don't know how many
250 games.
Yeah, you know, it's
whatever the catalog
the
of
entire
NES was
catalog,
at the
yeah.
time.
basically it's got the guts of one cartridge, and now we can stick it all,
Right.
the whole library onto
Yeah.
one
Well, it's
cartridge
like,
worth of
it's
data.
like back in the day,
Yeah.
at the end of the life of the NES,
Mm.
there were cartridges available, black market cartridges available that had every
Oh, yeah.
single game on them.
I remember those showing
Right.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
And you just had to navigate a regular like
a
like
BIOS kind of
yeah,
looking
like a
screen.
BIOS looking screen
Yeah,
to pick which game,
yeah.
and then it would start.
And some of those, and they had like a
You could
not
turn
even,
on all you could turn on and off all the codes and everything.
Yeah. It was a lot of cool shit in those games, man. You don't see that stuff no more.
No.
Yeah,
Which
hey,
I'm kind of
just-
surprised. Like, well, maybe not. I mean, some stuff is so proprietary now in these console systems. Like, you won't see that probably ever again, where you have some guy selling discs. You know what I mean? That are just like, hey, it plays in your PlayStation. It plays all these old games.
No, you won't have that.
You know
I
what I
mean, now
mean?
you have torrents. You have the whole illegal torrent thing. You have people doing.
Oh,
Right, you
okay.
can torrent
Like a
games.
PC
Yeah.
version of the old school game.
Yeah, the PC versions of the games.
Okay.
You can download emulators.
Oh, true. Oh, yeah, right. No, yeah,
You
it's
know,
true.
Which in that case, those are usually legal because those are like remade, like fan-based projects.
Right.
you
They
know.
skirt it with
so,
that stuff.
Well, yes. So if they make it, it's theirs. It's legal.
All right. So his next question is: it's a bit early, but what presents are you hoping Santa brings you this Christmas?
Money so I can pay my bills.
Oh, I'll have some of that, please.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cash is always nice.
Cash is nice.
I haven't. You know what?
I haven't really seen
I
anything.
haven't
I don't think there's
thought
anything
of
that's jumped
anything.
out at me so far. It's like, oh, there's a thing I really want. That's a cool thing. But he's got a good point.
Yeah.
I saw, what did I see today? I saw an ad for something, and I'm like, oh, shit, Christmas is coming. We're going to go straight from
Yep.
election to Thanksgiving to Christmas this year.
Yeah. There's no.
Yeah.
There's been nothing about Halloween.
We're too wrapped up with Donald Trump.
I saw Christmas commercials before I saw Halloween commercials. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, no, yeah, we skip right over it now.
Yeah.
We're skipping right over that
I'm seeing
stuff.
Party City commercials. That's it.
Yeah, well, yeah, because that's their big.
Yeah.
They have to.
Yeah, they're going. They go through every holiday.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You know,
So-
but the Halloween's their biggest time of the year.
Sure.
You know, they open up those pop-up stores
Yeah,
and stuff.
this their time of year to be open until midnight.
Right.
Yeah. What was his other question? Do you think this is going over to Gotham, the Gotham TV show? Do you think Nigma and Cobblepot will take their bromance a step further on Gotham? Ed did say, not Edward O'Hare, but Edward Nigma. Ed did say he'd do anything for Penguin. Pucker up, boys. Have a great show. Cheers, Brian. Well, cheers, Brian. Thanks for writing in. Yeah, I would keep the gay fanfic out of my theorizing on Gotham. But I
Let's
will
keep
say
the
it is
slash fic
interesting
out of it.
in general how, like, all right, there's a couple of characters that it'll be interesting to see them buddy up and, work together, I guess, is a thing. It's an interesting
Well,
dynamic, but
They've worked together in the past in movies and stuff. They're
Yeah.
they're a natural kind of couple.
odd man, they're a natural odd couple.
Yeah.
They make a good
Yeah.
odd couple. And that's what actually they're shooting for on the show, and very much in a way,
Sorry.
where Nigma is just so weird, and,
Right.
and Penguin's just weird in another way. That's it's just a different style of weird. But yeah, I hope they keep that up for a while. It seems to be a thing that's working actually on there. So next one is from James Hazelton Jr. James Louisiana. James down Louisiana. Boy, I said, boy.
Boy, I said.
Boy,
Better
I
get
said
that
what you
damn
said.
chicken hawk.
There you go. That's about as Louisiana as we get.
I guarantee.
He goes, hey, wow, it's been a busy week. The log cabin we're building at work is finally fully framed. Time to put on the roof and the sheetrock. He sent along some pictures, too. They're really building it. It's not a goof. It's been
Make
such
sure
a,
he built a little chair for a little man with one eye and a banjo to sit.
There you go. Well, that's true. They just show up, I think, when you build a house, a log cabin. Those guys just show up.
Yeah,
It's like a leper. It's like a southern leprechaun. It's just just some kind of skinny, backwoods guy, missing teeth,
just
and has
walking
a
up,
banjo.
walking up and going, yeah, it's a cabin.
Yeah.
No, it's a mock cabin.
It's my grounds.
You don't mind if I sit here and play my banjo, do you?
Nope.
Hope you like banjo.
I'll be
All
staying a while.
Remember the song? You want to hear it? Here we go. All right, so.
Yeah, I want to kill you. Don't leave my cabin. I'll kill you. I'll kill you. If you don't leave my cabin, get out right now.
Okay. He says, it's been such a busy week, I almost forgot to email. That might have hurt someone's feelings. I'm glad you remembered, James.
He avoided one of these.
We could have, if you forgot. Well, it was funny. I opened up the mailbox yesterday, and there was nothing in it, and now today there's 3. So, well, that's not true. There was one. The one from Chad was in there, but now we have 3 more. So this all leads into his question. As I was one of 4 English-speaking white males of around 30 men on the job site, how long do you have to be exposed to a foreign language, hearing it, working with people speaking it, and such, before you begin to actually understand it? The other guys were understanding of our lack of ability to speak and communicate efficiently, and they would work with us finding translations. But generally, like, how long?
Well,
I think it's a rough question.
How long have Mexicans been coming into New York? And I know a few words of Spanish.
Yeah.
But, back when I was in high school in the 80s, we used to ask,
That's Ed.
why do you...
That's Ed the Fed.
Yeah, it sounds like... I don't know, but I
yeah.
can't get up. I got
it
the
must
cold
not
on.
be.
Hold on. Oh, there we go.
Oh!
Ed's here.
It's Ed. Ed. He ran.
He
ran all the way.
It sounds like it.
Almost missed the podcast.
It is cold outside.
Grab the other chair, buddy.
So I'm sorry. Now I lost my train of thought.
We were talking about Mexicans, working with Mexicans.
Right. Well, because I used to work we worked in the delis all the time.
Sure.
I still can't speak Spanish, but I can tell you, get me the garbage.
Sure.
Hey, baby, how you doing?
All the important phrases.
And
It's all the
a few
important stuff.
key R-rated phrases in Spanish.
Yeah. No
Well,
doubt. No doubt.
I spent 4 years in the Navy, 3 of those in Japan, and I
don't think there's a barometer.
I also took
that way.
4
it's
years.
hard. It's really hard. You have to have a basis for the language.
And here's the thing too: you have to want to learn or remember or recall
Right.
stuff.
I took 4 years of Italian in school, and I can't speak Italian.
Well, there you go. Oh, well, that's the thing.
Yeah. So
It's. I think it's really about how much you like. It's like anything. How much are you into
right.
learning that?
If I was alone in Japan and I had no money and I was starving, I would learn how to speak Japanese in a hurry.
Bob would be like that.
Well,
son Bob would be like,
because when you go to a place like Japan, it's not like it's not like when you go to a place like Japan they have like signs in Japanese and English. It's not like here.
You'd be surprised probably
Yeah.
about how much is there though.
The thing about the Japanese is
they
funny.
sweat us pretty hard.
They do. Everybody learns English in Japan.
Yeah, it's part of
Everybody.
it. They go to. It's one of the things they have to
Their
take
big
at school.
thing is when they're speaking to an English-speaking person, they get really shy and don't want to say a goddamn word in English.
Right, because then it's like, oh no,
It's like
I'm gonna embarrass myself.
I'm gonna fuck something up and not say that right. It's like no, if you know English, tell me because I need to get here and I can't read anything.
Ed,
But-
chime in whenever you want, bro. You are here. You have arrived, ladies and gentlemen. Edward O'Hare, late to the party, but he's still here. Ed, how you feeling? Okay.
That was a men's kind of thing.
Do you have a goldfish in your mouth? Are you waiting to do a magic trick? Thank you. Okay.
I guess because
Literally,
he doesn't
literally
have
doesn't want to
headphones.
talk. Are you all talked out? Is that what it is? Okay, he's pantomiming. Yes, maybe not. I think what he wants to do is make it like maybe he's here. Maybe he's not.
He's been debating for the whole way.
He's been coaching all day. He's got a voice like Nick Nolte right now. Tell me all about it. Give me your best Batman.
He's been channeling the Miracle on Ice
all right,
speech
you have
all
to
day.
say hello at least. He's trying not even to laugh out loud. There, you heard it? It's a little,
I got man.
that was like a dolphin giggle. All right. So I don't know. Oh, Jesus
Oh,
Christ! Now he's
Jesus,
writing
Jesus.
notes. Now we're into this. Okay, so as he's writing,
It's gonna be real hard for him because he's writing it. He's still gonna have to read it.
I think maybe
Because
it's
we're not
all
gonna
about-
read it for him,
It's
right?
all about the language thing. Maybe this goes back to I don't know.
Is he mad at you for some reason? Is this like a boyfriend girlfriend kind of thing?
He's waiting for the after show. He wants this way. The after show is something worth listening to. He doesn't want to oversaturate the market.
Oh.
Maybe
He wants to hang up.
he's just gonna be. He's just gonna be audience. I guess is what you're doing. Okay.
No cans.
He's got no headphones.
yeah,
fair enough. He's got
I
no
happen to be
headphones.
wearing Ed's headphones.
Oh shit, that's not good.
No,
Okay.
no earbuds around.
No, I think we're missing a pair.
Ed has one in
Ed's
his
got
bra,
a set.
evidently.
Ed's got a set.
He just pulled one
I
out.
don't know where the,
Like an old lady pulling money out of her bra.
There's the
Oh, they
headphones
might.
extension.
Those are the ones with the microphone. Then they might
It
not
might give you
work.
trouble, but
Yeah,
maybe
I'm
not. Some
trying.
brands do, some brands don't. All right, so that's basically it for James Hazelden. He attached a few pictures to show of the actual progress on the log cabin, and it's a real deal log cabin.
That's
It's all
awesome,
through.
James.
I
Awesome
didn't know
work.
he did that kind of work. Really cool, man. Busting your ass out in the hot sun like that every day.
Yeah. Now, when you're done with that one, start a second one right next to it. That's gonna be mine.
A little smaller, you know.
Yeah.
They're building nice. It's a nice piece, though.
Just the 3 rooms is good. You know, a living room, a bedroom, and a kitchen
it's a nice
that
piece.
I can eat in. That's all I
It's,
need.
it looks like a 2-story kind of thing, at minimum. That's a nice. It's gonna be a nice.
You might
piece
want
of
to
property.
soundproof it though. I'm gonna bring the ladies over. You know what I'm saying? And I play guitar too, so it'll get loud.
All right. So then we got one more piece of email. This one, Bob, take a guess. Agent Palmer.
My second guess would have been.
Yeah.
But she didn't
get
email,
one in.
huh?
She didn't get one in today. She's probably busy or something.
You notice I'm trying to avoid the Agent Palmer email, right?
Is that what it is? Oh, okay. All right. I mean, well, this will be good for you then. He keeps it short and sweet, he says right out of the gate. Have we
Short
made it through the emails with Professor Durf?
Evidently, it's not going to be short and sweet. It's
I
going
was
to muffle the whole
I
thing.
was doing pretty good. He's going to keep it short and sweet. Have we made it through to the emails with Professor as guest without mentioning the doomsday scenario of our impending election? I wanted to write in. I want to write in Bill. He can choose the running mate.
I'm voting for Smod.
for Smodcast? Smod,
No, just Smod.
just Smod. That's
The sweet meteor of death.
Oh,
I'm
okay,
voting
that
Smod.
one. No, but fine.
There you go.
I'll get that. I'll vote for that. But if he wants to write in me, he can.
I'm going to write in Ross Perot.
There you go. That's fair. He ran at some point.
I'm sure his family could dig him up and dress him up.
I'm gonna cast my running mate as actually this plushy. Leatherface.
There you go.
We'll start
SpongeBob Leatherface.
I don't know where he went, but we'll start a whole campaign based
He's
around
over
this
here.
guy. There he is. We'll start a whole campaign, just me and him, just traveling the country, talking to Americans, wanting to know, what
You're
they
going to have to
think
learn to
about-
speak really loud over the chainsaw that's going to be running behind you.
That's it, right. That's all he says. Is,
He's
that's it. He's one
Yeah,
strict
he's just
pony.
going to be standing there in like 3/4 profile with the chainsaw like this, pointing up in the air, running.
If you think he's scary now, folks, imagine if you don't vote for me. And
Doesn't he
be
do like a crazy howl too, like a shrill, like
Texas chainsaw election coming this fall?
That's it.
But yeah, that's that. Somebody ridiculous like that. That'll be my running mate. Donald, if you were running,
If I were running,
you could take it seriously or not. I don't care, Bob. I'm going to come
Okay.
to you. If you were running, who would your running mate be? And I don't care why.
no,
The follow up, because the follow up
listen.
is usually and why, and I'm
Right.
just telling you for the job. I don't care why. You can tell me why.
if I'm running for president, I'm taking Deadpool with me.
Got my vote.
yeah.
You got my vote, Bob.
Well, that's the same thing as having Don Chaney, isn't it?
Well, in a sense,
Right?
crazy looking,
Ugly
ugly as fuck
killed a few
without
people, got away with it.
ugly as fuck without the mask on.
Hunting
Yeah,
accidents and all that,
sure. Says whatever he wants.
All right. So Who would my running mate be?
Yeah.
Ah, gee.
Who would make a good running mate?
My first instinct was Donald Trump.
Okay.
I think that's probably the only way he's going to get into office.
He will not stand for being anybody's running mate.
And I
though.
could just sit there and go, don't worry about him. Ignore him. You guys are used to this. Don't worry.
All right.
But now I'm looking at the wall here. I'm thinking maybe the Punisher.
Well, that's good. You make a good attorney general.
Yeah, if I'm working on a Law and Order platform, I think he's the best man for that job.
He might be. Yeah, I think so. I think you're gonna get.
I think we'll handle terrorism, no problem.
No problem. No problem. It might be an upsurge in vigilante militias.
We'll have little A-team style vans all over downtown Fallujah or wherever they are right now.
All right, so I think that's kind of wrapping it up, ladies and gentlemen. That is the end of the emails. Thank you guys for sending them in. Thanks to Brian Hughes, James, Agent Palmer, and Chad Rose. Appreciate you guys sending something in every week. That's very nice of you guys, and you help the show move along, give us goofy stuff to talk about.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much, there, guys.
I really appreciate you guys hanging out in the chat room, too. I see some of you are right there in the chat room. You lucky little bastards. So, to anybody else who's listening, we're going to sign off right now. Then we're going to do some after show. It's one of the perks of listening live. You can hear the after show live. Or it's one of the perks of joining the Patreon. Is if you miss it, it's available there for $1. $1 a month gets you access to the after shows. And then the special episodes, $3. Patreon, folks. That's the worst. That's the worst Patreon pitch ever done so far.
Well, we still haven't done the Patreon song I wrote.
We haven't. We haven't done a Patreon episode just yet. Like a push one, a big push. We'll do that next week. How's that? Because next week we'll have to record it to put it out anyway, and we'll do a bit of a rundown promo on the main show next week, and. Maybe next week's episode, I think, is going to fall on Halloween. So we should probably plan accordingly. Figure something out.
Sounds like a horror special to me.
And keep your ears peeled if you follow the Shumway Gang shows, the friend circle there. The 7 Days of Geek kids are putting together a little thing for Halloween. You might want to hear, keep your ears tuned for that over on 7 Days of Geek. That should be coming hopefully by Halloween. I don't know when it's supposed to drop, but there's a thing. There's a thing being brewed up over there. Little group project. Keep your ears peeled for that. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to sign off for the recorded episode, but we're going to stay in the chat room and hang out with you kids for the after show. Bob? Oh, wait, I'll do the plugs. Ed's not here, so he doesn't get a plug. Donald, who was here all episode long. He's also known as Professor Politico.
Yes, I am at prof_Politico on Twitters.
Check him out on Instagram too, right?
Same thing on Instagram.
Same thing on Instagram. Maybe some
it might be a little different. I think it's a
little more.
AKA.
There's more nude photos of him on
okay. Then handle. Well, that's probably some naughty stuff on anything.
Yeah. Well,
him running around and draped on a flag and just swinging the.
Some like what's his name, Wiener kind of stuff.
Yeah. Well,
and what's his name, Andrew Wiener?
Oh, I'm glad you specified.
I couldn't remember the first name.
No,
I
know. I was just kidding.
I can't help that his last name is Wiener. That's his.
There's no sex thing with underage girls.
Why he didn't at 18 decide to change his last name is beyond me.
He decided to live up to it.
That he did.
In more ways than one.
He thought he had to show it.
Yeah. He was like, well, look at this thing.
This is why my last name.
That's the source of all his problems, was his name and his wiener.
I call it Schlemazel.
Set up. All right. So with that, Bob can be found on Twitter also at Bob. Thank you. I was about to do the same thing. At Bob WTPC. You can find me on there at Wicked Theory. You can find episodes of the show, wickedtheory.com. You can also find Ed too at Edward O'Hare TBD if you're on the Twitters and you're feeling so nice that you want to follow him too. We wouldn't mind. All right, Bob.
I don't think he cares because he's not here.
That's true. That's true. We're just making this up. But he's all just a figment of our imagination, really, is what's going on. All right, Bob. You're going to take us out of here whenever you're ready, Freddie.